What is up, everybody? Welcome to Swim or Sink 75. I'm Shad, joined by Imad, and we're a little bit late because of a switch overheating issue, but we're bringing you Inkpod and Darkslay. Better late than never.
Yes, indeed. We're looking forward to this first matchup of the night. Looks like we're going to be having some clamplets on the Reef, Splat Zones in Piranha Pit, and Tower Control on Anchovy for our set.
Yeah, so this is going to be fun. Clamplets on the Reef can be one of those maps where you can start off really strongly and then it just all falls apart because somebody decides that they're going to flank around through your little alleyway and everybody's not looking at the car. Next thing you know, you've got 6 power clams jumping to you.
Yes, it is quite a tricky map. It is small, but there are many avenues to get to that basket. If the teams are they can get into a bit of a stalemate if they're watching their flanks real good. But as you said, if someone's able to sneak past in some of those back alleyways, it can be all over in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. You're going to have weapons here that are going to be very good at holding bridge. Sloshers can be great here to get over that curve. Dynamo, if anybody on these teams play Dynamo, which I'm not sure they do, but it can be pretty fun to be sitting up on mid with a giant roller. And then, of course, you've got your standard weapons that work well on any map, like K-Shot, N-Zap, Junior. And speaking of K-Shot and Junior, we do see them already. K-Shot for both teams. Looks like on the side of Darkslay, we've got Luna on the K-Pro, Cloud on the K-Shot, Bowen is going to be on the Junior, and Nugget is going to be on the Mini. So they're running a double support, double Slayer comp. Meanwhile, on the side of Inkpond, we have a backline comp with the Heavy Remix, which unfortunately goes down very quickly. The K-Shot, the Brush Nouveau, and then the Kensa Rapid. So double baller, not very common in this meta due to the prevalence of our Object Shredder and the fact that so many people just are really good at shredding ballers now.
And quite a few bombs at that is, especially on the side of Inkpod right now. Darkslayer, yeah, the baller does not often stand a chance. It comes in and then is gone just as quick. We do see the first clam pop of the night. Looks like there's going to be some follow-up clams coming in. The remix here does go down, so there's going to be 3 down for the side of Ink Pond. And so there's a lot of yellow turf allowing them to get easy access to the basket for now.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf on the brush being forced down there due to that well-placed suction bomb on the edge. Luna manages to get the pick on one of his teammates. The remix is the only one left, and there's no clams remaining. Very quick and convincing KO by Darkslay.
As I said, if they're not watching their flanks, it can be over in the blink of an eye. Clam Blitz is definitely a very snowball-heavy mode, so if they got the momentum as we saw here, and so they were able to get the clams they needed and just pop them right in.
Yeah. But, of course, it's only 1-0. We could see the amazing reverse sweep.
Absolutely, we still got some more action to come. Next up, we have Splat Zones on Piranha Pit.
I'll be honest, this is not one of my favorite maps, but...
Now, why is that?
Personal biases.
Fair enough.
This is a map where sloshers are going to have a lot of fun. Blasters can be pretty interesting here as well. Anything that can take advantage of the height differentials between the regular ground and the conveyor belts. There's a lot of tricks here that you can do that might not be viable on other Splat Zones maps. Like, for example, we talk about how baller isn't used that often, but on this map, it can actually have a nice little niche because you can drop the ballers off the conveyor belt, you won't get shredded as likely, and then you actually paint the entire zone with that baller explosion. A splashdown off the side of the conveyor belt can do a similar thing, and again, splashdown is not necessarily the best special.
Yes, it does have a nice little bit of cover right next to the zone there. I think we can expect to see that either the remix or some other backline to return. I think, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, the height, utilizing the height difference on this map, especially for one that's so wide and open, will definitely be at an advantage for whatever team utilizes it.
Yeah, either one of the Jet Squelchers could be very good here. In terms of chargers, you have E-Leader, which can take advantage of the wide open range, but is also such a slow-moving weapon, and it's so easy to get overrun here that that'd be kind of a risky play to go for. Same thing with a Hydra to a certain extent. I mean, you're less likely to charge straight at a Hydra than you are an E-Leader, but it's slow-moving, it takes forever to charge up, you're probably not going to see it. But it would be fun to see one.
And it's not a stationary vantage point either. You do have a moving ramp that, if one's covered in enemy ink, will be difficult to traverse. But we do not see any, I guess, usual backline picks. We do have that Blobber on the side of Ink Pond here, which will be quite handy for this elevation. It's got a nice reach, and it will be excellent for getting over the ramps, and just getting into those areas that would normally occupy by the backline. A nice opening push right here. They're going to be taking control of the zones and going to be pushing into a lockout position. However, that's going to be 2 down for the side of Ink Pond, a 3 down, which is the junior remaining.
Yeah, we'll be really needing to back up here because they are not going to win those fights by themselves as a junior. But they did manage to get the zone down to 80 points remaining, and Darkslade's going to take control of the zone now. 2 down on the side of Ink Pond. The last 2 members are getting pushed. One goes down, the other one jumps out. So effective delayed wipe on the side of Ink Pond. And now Darkslade is going to try and get into this knockout position. You can see that the members are moving up. You've got Nugget that's really pushed up with that mini. Normally you don't think of that as an aggressive weapon, but Nugget is doing very good at using those burst bombs to get combination Vortex off of people. Oh, an unfortunate pick there on the side of Bowen. Well, fortunate for Bowen's team, but not very fortunate for Ink Pond. That was a good place bomb to take out that Blobber.
That was a very well placed bomb right there. I think look just the comp that they're running with the mini there. It allows for a very mobile, very aggressive take on it. So I think having the mini up close with his teammates is the goal here, because not many of them are that long of a range. So having them, I guess, or push up together, I think that it really utilizes the teamwork to its fullest.
Yeah, 1 down on each side of the map. Booyah Bomb getting popped by Ink Pond. Armor coming out from Darkslade. Zone is going to be neutralized. Bomb Rush now coming out from the Blobber. And it looks like Furry's going to go after Bowen. One of his teammates drops the help, but Furry manages to pick them off. And now Wolf is going to go up onto the ramp to try and get into a nice position here. Furry's going to help pick off the member that's going after him, but unfortunately gets taken down to Nugget, who was already at 6 KA. Very impressive for a mini. And it looks like Darkslade's going to get this zone cap again. And things are getting dicey now because there's only about 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Ink Pond's got to move.
Yeah, 20 seconds and no penalty standing in their way. This is getting very dangerous. They are in a full wipe situation. 10 seconds remaining. I don't know if they'll have time to get back to the zone to stop it.
Yeah, if you go full wipe down on Piranha Pit with about 10 seconds remaining, it's pretty much impossible to get in. You might be able to stall the zone by your spawn for a little bit, but it's really hard to bring it back from that. So, Ink Pond definitely had a much stronger showing this game than they did last time.
Quite so. I think, yeah, Clambless is definitely it can be difficult, or I guess it tends to be the weak link for a lot of teams. I think zones, you really see team strengths really come out for zones is a more definitely more practiced mode, definitely a more preferred mode, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Tower Control's kind of in the middle between the two extremes. I mean, it does have the potential for extreme snowballingness, but not as much as you would on Rainmaker or Clamblitz. This stage in particular, Anchovy, once you get past that 3rd checkpoint, it really snowballs really quickly. But conversely, it's so hard to get past that 3rd checkpoint, or even really past the 2nd, that anything past the 2nd is considered a pretty safe push.
Yes, I would have to agree right there. It's just, you're limited by the movement of the tower. You don't get to go full throttle as you might like, as in Rainmaker or Clamblitz. That gauntlet right before the 1st and 2nd checkpoint is definitely very difficult to get through. You have that high ground area for the defending team, so it just is not that easy to get or knock people out from up there, and so they can just rain fire and bombs upon the tower. Getting to that 3rd checkpoint is definitely quite the difficult challenge.
Yeah, but one of the things that can be really good at getting people out from up there, aside from the obligatory missile, since this is the missile meta, inkjets. It would be fun to see an inkjet. Booyah bombs can also work, but I kind of want to see somebody go back to the classic, armor inkjet meta and really use one of those jets to take out the upper areas of the class.
Agreed. Ooh, we are going to be seeing a vanilla charger. Wow, alright. Looks like a complete swap of comp for Inkpon here with the addition of a Splat Charger, a vanilla Splat Charger, and a Forge Splattershot Pro for a side of Darkslay. Very
and then
interesting.
Inkpond is running a really unusual comp. They've got Glugadekos, which has Baller Wall, Enzap, Dynamo, and looks like a Clash Neo. So they're running double armor missiles, but aside from the Enzap, not your typical armor or missile weapons.
Not at all. We'll have to see what they intend to do with this. They are getting pretty run down at the moment, already on to that second checkpoint for Darkslay, and while they are in that gauntlet run now where the defending team has the advantage, they are making impressive work of getting through that second checkpoint right now.
Yeah, 2 down already on the side of Inkpond. One member of Darkslay is trying to come around, but obviously the people on Darkslay do know that he's there, and he gets taken out very, very quickly. Nugget's going to push way up with this K-Shot. They've swapped off the mini that they've been running the last couple rounds. Manages to get the pick on the member of Inkpond before armor comes out. Missile's coming out now that's on the last member, and we have another quick knockout.
Well, that snowball just rolled right into the KO zone. So it's going to be 3-0 for Darkslay. That area that Nugget was occupying is definitely becomes the danger zone once they start pushing up really far. It can be difficult to get back out of spawn because they have that low ground ledge protection just Shark in there with such a fast kill weapon.
Yeah, and that's where you really want something that you can roll over the edge like a bomb, or you want something like a slosher that you can dump ink over the edge to take out. Dynamo could theoretically do that, but the hitbox on it is so wonky it's not really reliable. So round 1 is done. We could go on to round 2, but we could also talk to the good people in chat about some fun things that are coming up.
Ooh, yes. We have quite the lineup of exciting events.
Yes, Splatoon players are going to be eating good for the next couple months. Starting off with Super Jump, which is an upcoming Splatoon 2 major for all players. It's going to feature a large prize pool, 2 waves of competition, and a quality live stream. It also features a 2-day format with multiple 2-day brackets, so everybody will find matches close to their skill level. This is going to happen July 23rd to 24th, so a couple weeks. You can check out https://start.gg/SJ2 to learn more and register. And if you do !SuperJump2 in the chat, you'll be able to get a link straight to it. And the monetary prize pool is not the only cool thing that's going to be happening for Riptide. There's also collaborations between a lot of other tournaments. For example, Shine, which is happening very soon as well. The top 2 teams in Super Jump will be winning free passes to Shine 2022. So whoever wins Super Jump and the second place team, y'all are going to get free passes to Shine, which happens August 26th to 28th. And that's going to be in Massachusetts. You can register at the link on the screen, and we hope you'll see all of you there.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to that. We also have, I think just this weekend, the Splatoon Advanced Circuit is going to be returning. It's going to be on July 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you'll be able to earn more points for your team. The 18s with the most points by the end of the 4th tournament will be invited to play in the finals and be crowned the best mid-level team in Splatoon 2. Then, later on in September, we also have Riptide, a LAN is going to be the first LAN of Splatoon 3. Is going to be September 9th through the 11th at Kalahari in Sandusky, Ohio. You're going to be able to play Splatoon, watch Smash, Rivals, and others, and then go down to the water slides or the arcade. This will be the first LAN, as I said, to be host a Splatoon 3 event. It's going to be releasing on the same day.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely fun to watch because you're going to have everybody stuck at like level 5 with 3 weapons and 1 chunk ability gear. And additionally, more incentives to play Super Jump. If you win a non-alpha bracket, you will be entered in a raffle to win a set of Riptide passes. So that's a nice little prize for everybody who's maybe kind of hesitant about entering because they think, oh, well, I don't really have a chance of winning the big grand prize. This is a pretty sweet prize, and Riptide last year was a lot of fun, so you should definitely consider trying to go to it this year as well.
Playing a Splatoon tournament for the chance to play in another Splatoon tournament? That sounds like heaven to me.
I know, right? I think that's all the talking points we have right now. Apparently, wait, we have word from on high.
I think the other thing I want to...
We have time for more ads.
More ads. I do also want to point out, I guess, the thing about Shine, which I'm super excited for, is one of the, I guess, the first East Coast lands in quite a while. So that is quite close to I and my East Coast brethren. So we will have quite the trip to do if we choose to go out and see it.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the last East Coast land was before the pandemic. You know, the great panini and all the stay-at-home stuff that happened.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's going to be a long time. I mean, we've had online majors since then. I know that last year, I want to say, there was an online major in, like, the spring. But it's just not the same as seeing people in person, you know?
It is quite the experience being able to see all the online friends in person and then be able to just play Splatoon in the same room with them.
And for once, you're less likely to DC.
Very
Instead
true.
of having a Windows 98 moment, you can have a Windows 99 moment. Still DCs, but slightly better on a LAN connection.
And you even have some in-house IT. You're not stuck trying to figure out all on your own.
Yeah, no more sitting at the screen and being like, oh man, my Switch overheated. The ranked rotation is good. I'm 2 points away from getting X 2600. And I only have 5 minutes left in the rotation. I think that's all the time we have for ads. Because we have teams showing up on the screen, Inkling versus Duncan Vortex, so I'm guessing that these are the next 2 people that we will be seeing fight.
Yep, we do have quite the lineup here. I don't quite recognize these players, but they have a pretty sweet logo, I must say.
Yeah, so Inkling actually was a team for a long period of time, and then they kind of died. Kind of went the way of the dodo. A couple of different players, went off and joined other teams. So it was nice to see them kind of reuniting and getting back together again. The only person I recognize on Duncan Vortex is Sneck, who I believe is a Slosher player. But it's going to be a pretty fun match.
Yes, indeed. We have Rainmaker on Manta Maria, Clamplets on the Humpback Pump Track, and Splat Zones on Skipper Pavilion. This is going to be our round 2 map lineup. Anything you're going to be expecting to see on Rainmaker or Manta Maria?
Sploosh 7. This is a very popular map for the Sploosh cheeses. So I expect to see at least 1 team run it, if not 2. Other than that, I expect that at least 1 team will run a K-Shot in a junior, but that's kind of a gimme at this point. So does that really count as a guess? Oh my gosh, we're wrong. There is no K-Shot, and there are no juniors. It's a miracle.
They just came out to show us up, didn't they? We do have the custom jet sculpture, actually that's a Tri-Sculpture Nouveau of all things, as well as the K52 and a gray NZAP for the side of Duncan and Vortex. Then we have the Neo Splash, some Poison Apple Dapple Doolies, and we have the Nautilus 79, I believe, and then another gray NZAP.
Yeah, so both teams have weapons that you might not normally see on Rainmaker. Snack pulling out the Tri-Nouveau doesn't really surprise me, though. They're a very good Slosher player. Dapple's Nouveau could be a pretty fun Rainmaker weapon, despite some of the people that play it. looks like we're going to have a pretty quick neutral situation here. You can see Snex trying to get a pick on that Nautilus. Looks like they're going to try and abandon that fight. It's not a good fight for them. They're going to jump out, not able to make it. Gigas is going to take to the sky now with that Inkjet. And it looks like this is going to be a good position for Inkling to maybe pick up that Rainmaker and get it a bit further than 70 points.
Well, I do have to contend with the Stingray right here. They do have a prime positioning to get it through that street area. Taking control of that bunker is quite crucial for any sort of push on this map. Unfortunately, they do go 2 to 3 down, so they are going to have to take a step back and reset, and Duncan and Vortex will be taking the Rainmaker.
Yeah, you can see one member of Duncan Vortex taking the top left area, claiming that, making sure that members of Inkling can't get in that way to flank through mid. The custom jet sculpture is going to go for the bunker. Looks like Sneck has gone up there as well. Candagal's going to come around the side, gets the pick on one, can't clean up on K, who comes in to try and get the Rainmaker. But they're quickly getting overrun by 2, and there's a nice pincer there between the Rainmaker shot and the teammates that are firing at it.
Up here on the tightrope, got a nice vantage point as long as they don't fall into the abyss. Not quite able to get that lead just yet, but they're still putting the pressure on, getting a pick with the Rainmaker pop, and they're going to be pushing it once again.
Yeah, that pick on the Rainmaker pop was really, really crucial there. That was what enabled Duncan Vortex to get the lead. But 32 even on this map isn't really safe, so that can easily be overtaken by Inkling.
They're going to definitely have to bunker down, lock things up if they're going to want to hold on to this lead. Probably the safest thing to do is just push for another lead, because as you said, that it is not safe, is Rainmaker and his Manta.
Yeah, Inkling is going to get this pop here. You can see that the members of Duncan Vortex are on the left-hand side of the ship, really doing a good job of keeping that area locked down. Jimmy's going to come up, try and get a pick in the bunker. Not able to find anyone. They're going to have to retreat. And they're going to go over to that area that's very, very blue. Kind of risky, but they're a Slash. They can paint enough for themselves to maybe win a fight over there. Looks like one member of Inkling did go down. That would be the Nautilus, which is unfortunate because that is their range.
Yeah, paint or no paint, I wouldn't want to pick a fight 2 players at a time. We do see 2 members of Duncan Vortex on that left side defending the bucket and the N-Zap, and they are able to take down that Neo Splash, a nice 2v1 pincer movement. But we do see 3 down for the side of Inkling here. This might be the opportunity that Duncan has to solidify their their lead just a bit, or at the very least stall out the timer.
Yeah, Sneck got a very clutch trade there with Gigas and was able to help make sure that their team was able to move the Rainmaker up. But the Rainmaker manages to get picked off by K, who just barely managed to stay alive from that Booyah Bomb. One member of Inkling is down, and one member of Duncan Vortex is respawning. So effectively even numbers on the field. Sneck goes down 2 Gigas in that bunker, so that's going to help keep that area nice and clean for their teammates to get back in. And 1 minute is left on the clock, so Inkling really needs to start picking up the pace. The Inkjet comes out, armor comes out from Duncan Vortex to counter that. The Stingray comes out as well. It looks like Gigas is going to go for them, not able to get the pick before they run out of specials.
Unfortunately, I do believe that Stingray was popped a little bit early. They hadn't picked up the Rainmaker just yet, so now they are left with a Rainmaker in the clutches of Inkling and no Stingray to counter. They are going to be able to take it down pretty easily, though. They got him cornered in that right side there, but they are going to have to be careful as we get into the last 30 seconds. Get easily one W key push can easily take that last point that they need.
Yeah, and with the members of Duncan Vortex popping that Rainmaker, all members of Inkling are back in mid, so it's going to be hard for them to possibly get the Rainmaker. But 2 go down, that reset might have been unfortunate play there for Duncan Vortex. Jimmy's going to try and avoid this member coming in. The Ray comes out, not able to survive. By the skin of their teeth, Duncan Vortex is going to take the first game.
That was extremely close, right up to the end there. They had that last chance. They had that last chance.
And I think that definitely goes to show that it's anybody's set. There's not going to be a clear, this team is so much better than the other, like you would see against a Div 9 team versus Feed to Win in the Nintendo Splatoon ladder tournament. This is going to be a nail biter, I think. But,
And those-
Snack must be looking at that map list, and they must be so happy, because this is the quintessential Slosher map.
It is Tri-Slosher heaven right here. Going on to Clamblitz Humpback Pump Track. We're going to be seeing a lot of Snack around the map. It's going to be a fun time. Honestly, the nail biters, they're the most entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and this can be such a nerve-wracking map to both play and watch because of how stally it can be. This is a map where we have seen time and time again pushes to only 70 or only 80, a single power clam, and that's it. And the game stalls for 5 minutes. And when it starts stalling, people start to play nervous, and when they play nervous, they make mistakes.
Mm-hmm. It is quite a... Well, I guess not necessarily a small map, but you have such a short distance between the clan baskets, so teams tend to play a little bit more defensively, and so that does tend to stall out the game a lot more. Now, if you get a solid wipe, well, that could just be game over.
Yeah. If I had to pick a single person in this lobby to swap weapons, I would probably guess Kay is going to swap off the Dapple's Nouveau, because it's a very short-range weapon, and that can be a little funky here on the map, especially with all the curves.
There's not quite as much cover for them to utilize. There's a lot more. Oh well.
Well,
That being
Kay
said-
swapped off the Dapple's Nouveau onto the clear Dapples, so we haven't seen those in a while. They have Splashdown, which can be a fun special. It depends on your definition of fun. Jimmy is also going to swap onto the V-Jet rather than the C-Jet. Meanwhile, on the side of Dunk's Vortex, they also have a V-Jet. We have the Nautilus and Junior, as well as the Inkling, and it looks like the other members of Dunk and Vortex stayed the same. Already we have a 1 down on each side of the field. 2 members of Inkling are going to try and clear out that left-hand side of the map.
And taking that bunker is going to be quite crucial for any sort of clam push on that basket. It is a key place of defense for each team. If you can take control of that bunker, you basically have free reign of the basket. There's not a whole lot they can do to dislodge you, except maybe pummel specials at you.
Gigas there with the Inkjet managed to force 2 people to jump out. Unfortunately, their teammates did not have a power clam that they could use to follow up on it. Gigas is going to run in, try and see if they can get a pick. Doesn't look like they found anyone. He's going to back up and put up a splash goal for defense. And 1 member of Inkling is down, so it looks like Dunk and Vortex are going to rush that power clam, and rush it they do. 1 member is going to jump out on the side of Inkling, so that really effectively gives Dunk and Vortex mid.
I can see the swap for the Dapples here is having the Jet Squelcher swap from the custom to the vanilla. That they still have that poison mist, but I think having 2 poison mists can be a little bit overkill because you still need that bomb pressure. So having the torpedo with the Dapples is a good substitute.
Yeah, 2 minutes are almost off this game, and we have yet to see a concrete push coming from either team. 1 member of Inkling is down. 2 specials coming out from Dunk and Vortex. Make that 3 specials, so it looks like they might be trying to put something together here. Snack is carrying an awful lot of clams. They've got 8, and it looks like their teammate might be trying to throw 2 of them. Yep, they're going to build a ball right at the basket, and in it goes. So first push is underway.
Oh, that is a lot of blue on the map. They have some solid map control, and if they have the power clams to back it up, they can start putting some points down. Yeah, here we go, down to 71 points, and that is going to be a 3 down, so probably going to be wanting to pull back at this point.
Yeah, definitely. But you've got the members of Inkling really pushing up now. The Inkjet is out from Gigas to try and get members as they respawn, but it might have popped out a little bit too early. They're not able to find anyone. They do get an assist off of Kay's splashdown bow. 1 member down on each side of the field, and Kay, they know that they're up there. They can't be staying up there for long, I would think.
And now they got 2 of their teammates down as well. They do get a pick though, and they are still alive. And here comes the super jump with the power clam. This might be a solid push if they can get the clam, and yes, they do.
And that was a good Booyah Bomb placement, though, by the members of Dunk and Vortex to really make sure that the ball carrier would die, so there's no errant jumps. Kay is going to sneak in here with the splashdown, see if they can get a pick. Do manage to get 1. We do have the rare splashdown pick on stream. But all of the members of Inkling have gone down aside from Chili on that Junior, and Junior is not the best weapon for defense.
It can have a quite aggressive junior, but is not the best Slayer weapon. It can get a lot of paint, get some bomb defense or some bomb pressure, but yeah, it is not the best when left on its own. K though, being a thorn in their side, getting the splashdown kill off, and able to get some more clams in, quite well played.
Big is coming in with the hero pick, gets 2, can they get the 3rd? They're going for it, Inkjet in the sky, and they manage to get it just before the rain takes them out. This is why you don't fly when it's stormy, kids.
Lesson well learned. A solid triple though, and they, although Inkling does have the basket open, clams are still pouring in. No specials online though, so that may be the end of this push right here, and it's going to be 3 power clams for the side of Duncan Vortex.
Yeah. Inkling is almost close to missiles though, so that will be a very useful thing to help delay any pushes coming in. Other members are rapidly approaching the specials as well. 2 specials online for Duncan Vortex, and they have 3 power clams ready, which is more than enough to get the lead right now. But they only have 30 seconds left. We'll probably see overtime just because of how Clam Blitz works. You see that the members of Inkling are trying to play a little patiently. 2 specials get popped. It looks like other specials are being popped as well on the side of Duncan Vortex. So yeah, they're just trying to brute force their way in with the specials. Next, trying to see if they can pick somebody off. 2 go down. Inkjet is coming online. They're just going to try and delay him as much as they can. But that jump is getting camped. 2 down on the side of Duncan Vortex. He is going to try and see if they can sneak in somewhere. Booyah coming out. Almost gets shredded. Doesn't manage to. Manages to get to pick on 2. They're going to run for the basket. The bomb comes in and kills them. But the Jet is going to come in with their big clam and get the basket popped. So now it's just a matter of can Duncan Vortex get in and get some clams to keep it open. I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, they need a power, or they need a super clam and 1 regular clam in order to get that lead, and unfortunately they just didn't have the manpower or the paint control to do that. Inkling was able to keep at least 2 of the members alive at any given point, so they were able to keep control of the basket for the most part, and that just allowed them to stall out that overtime. And yeah, well, they're Inkling taking match 2.
So it's all going to come down to Splat Zone Skipper Pavilion. People have strong opinions on this map because of right side peeking, and also because of the fact that probably it reminds a lot of people of Salt Spray, and people did not like Salt Spray. But this is going to be interesting. Long range weapons can be really good here. I don't think we're going to see anything longer than the jets that the teams ran last game. But with the changes in elevation through the zone, I mean, it's on a downward slope. You position somebody with a weapon that has decent fall off at the top of the zone or a lot of area of effect, and they're going to be eating up kills like crazy.
Yeah, if they're going to be bringing out a pocket pick, this is definitely going to be the map mode to do it. However, I don't expect to be seeing any significant changes up to their comp. The Jet Squelcher will definitely be a sufficient backline if they continue to stick with that. Having that range and just the decent paint will be effective for the zone and the map combo.
Maybe we'll see the Dapple trifecta. K has already used Dapple's Nouveau and cleared Dapple's. Will we see the Vanillas?
Oh, that is true. That bomb rush would come very handy, especially with such a narrow area around the zone, effectively pushing out any sort of hold on it.
And also, beacons can be really useful on this map, given how big it is, and sometimes it just feels like spawn is such a long way from that zone.
Absolutely. I
have to wait and see.
Gonna be hopping into our 3rd match. Is 1-1, so this will be taking the round. Talk about a nail biter. We are gonna have no nails left after this.
Too late for that. We do not get the Dapple trifecta. K has gone back to Dapple Nouveau. Meanwhile, the rest of Dunk and Vortex has stayed relatively the same, aside from the fact that now they are running a squeezer. Bubbles can be pretty good here. You can push down from the top, get a nice cap on the zone with the insta-pop. Also good for clearing out the garden area. Meanwhile, on the side of Inkling, only changes, of course, K back to the Zap Niveau, and well, I guess technically you have the Junior going back to a Zap, but they fill a similar role and they play very similarly, so I don't really consider that a huge change. Bubbles already coming out from one member of Duncan's Vortex, one down on their side as well, and Inkling is going to get the cap.
With Rain and Inkjet bearing down, he is definitely going to have to back up here. But they do take out that Dualies finally, so this might be the opportunity for them to swap that zone right back. However, they do go the Squelcher down, not the Squelcher, the Squeezer down. So it's going to flip right back. This is going to be, I think, a tough, or it's going to be a very back and forth match just from what I'm watching. Zones is definitely, Zones doesn't tend to be that much of a snowball. It can easily swap back and forth with some good special usage.
Yeah, but this map has lockout potential, especially if you see how Duncan Vortex is positioning. You've got one member with a decent amount of range down on the bottom watching that lower garden. Meanwhile, you've got other members going for the top. There are two ways to get to zone on this map, and they have both of them covered.
I am curious about the double poison mist for the side of Inkling, though, with the Dapples and the Squelcher. That is, they have basically their bomb potential cut in half. While they do have the double suction, I'm curious to see how they're going to be utilizing this.
Yeah, that's more something that you might see as like a niche pick on Rainmaker, especially on this map, but it seems to be doing decently so far. Two down on the side of Duncan Vortex as the members of Inkling turn that zone yellow. They're almost through the penalty because it didn't have a very big one. One down on the side of Inkling. Like the Squeezer got a good pick on the Nautilus. So that is going to be probably their biggest player down. And then the members of Duncan Vortex are going to use the missiles, armor, and bubble combination to push back into zone. So they do manage to get control back. Squeezer gets the pick on the Jet, which is a good pick. And then 3 down on the side of Inkling.
Yeah, solid 3 down is going to be back to business as usual. Duncan and Vortex setting up for another lockout. However, it seems Inkling has already gotten back in and taken control of that center area, which will be quite crucial for their next push. And it seems the Squelcher for the side of Duncan and Vortex is still back up their spawn. A bit of a swap around as far as their team positions have been.
Yeah, special coming out now from members of Inkling to try and get that zone cap. Gigas does fall to the Jet Squelcher, who camps that zone very nicely. 2 down on the side of Inkling, so this push is going to continue for Duncan Vortex. 20 points remaining on the board with a delayed wipe, essentially, because 2 members of Inkling are coming out of spawn now, and that's going to be really hard for them to get back into mid in time. Gigas is going to go for it, not sure if he's going to be able to find anyone. And that is that.
With the amount of blue that was on that map and the time running out, they didn't have a good chance of getting back in, so there's going to be Duncan Vortex 2-1 taking the set. Very well done.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams played really, really well, but Duncan Vortex just played a tiny little bit better.
They certainly came out on top and quite impressive. The Squelcher or 1v1 of the Dualies right at the end there, I honestly was very impressed by that they were able to come out on top of that. Usually when you get into close quarters with the Dapples, it is not long before you're back at spawn.
Yeah, see, if I'm using a Jet Squelcher and I get into close quarter fight with Dapples, I'm eating myself out of there. Either I'm jumping back or I'm dead. That's that. And of course, Inkling winning that one match is pretty important because that will be used later on in tiebreakers.
Yes, as we do have the play all in place, it is not the end of the world. That will be coming in handy if they need that, as you said, that tiebreaker when it comes down to the quarterfinals and so on. Now, I don't know if we are ready for that next match just yet. That actually went on pretty long.
We have word from on high from Mr. Magic Streamer Man of the day, Vapor. Everybody do a round of applause for Vapor.
Yes.
We
would not be here without our beloved streamers.
Wisp versus NASA Loves Otters and Fears. Well, NASA has interesting tastes. I mean, I like otters. Otters are cute. Have not run into any fears that are cute yet, but I don't know, maybe I just haven't met them. I don't know, what about how you, Ahmed? Have you run into any adorable fears?
I don't think that I have, and honestly, I would be even more suspicious of any adorable fears, because they tend to be hiding something much darker.
Now, so the question is, since we have a member named Fear and a member named Otter, what does that make Retro? Because Retro is the fourth member of that team.
That is an excellent question. Are they the and? Is it?
Maybe.
I don't know. Is the word and retro?
Depends on whether or not you use emoticons or not. And then Wisp, of course, we haven't forgotten about them. That is going to be run by Kara, Shadolfin, Apple, Rally, who I believe is actually Arcanagon from ye old Crustacean Crusaders, and Nishiro, sorry.
Our first match is going to be Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy. Back to that good old snowball of a Tower Control on a small map such as Inkblot. It's going to be rather difficult to get past those later checkpoints. We could be seeing a very stalling match, or we could see a quick KO. I guess we'll have to see right here. A very odd lineup for the side of Wisp here. We have the usual K-Shot and K-Gao, but we also have the addition of the Dark Catcher Dualies and a H3, I believe.
Yeah, H3V, but neither of those picks really surprise me considering who's holding them. Ali is an absolute demon with those Tetras, and also unfortunately dead at the moment, but two members of NASA are down as well. And then Shadolfin is very, very known for being a really good H3 player. They're the ones riding the tower at the moment. The rest of the members of Wisp are pushing way up into spawn. See a nice little 1v1 fight there. Ali and a teammate getting that pick. One down on the side of NASA.
Because they are certainly putting them to work here. Already onto that second checkpoint. This is past the most difficult stage of the map. They are in snowball territory right now. If they're able to keep up the momentum, this could be game, set, match before we know it. The Naughty Nose does go down though, so that will be their tower rider gone, and so they are able to hold on. Two members of NASA is down three members, and they are continuing the push.
Yeah, Apple's put in a lot of work with that K-Gal, already up to 7 kills, and there's only 36 points remaining. Can they get the 8th? Looks like they're going for it. Not able to find it, unfortunate. But their delaying did manage to help their teammates get through the third checkpoint, so even though that's a full wipe on... Oh, almost the third checkpoint, sorry. So even though that's a full wipe on the side of Wisp, a push to 25 on this map is really good.
Why so? They did their duty. They got the points. Give them a medal. They're going to be going back from spawn. They're in the defensive position now, and they are coming out swinging.
Yeah, one down on each side of the field. Retro manages to get a trade, making even numbers yet again, 2v2. There's only one special online right now, and Apple is going to pop that Booyah straight onto the tower, go after somebody in mid, see if they can get a pick. Not able to find it. Sometimes you just wish you had enough range, and it looks like that it's going to be a close quarters fight that they're going to lose. But a teammate comes in to help them out, finish it up. A nice Autobomb pick there. You don't see those too often. And the members of Wisp are getting back on that tower, pushing it up, and going back for that plat.
The sneaky chicken coming in from the side, taking out an unfortunate little squid there. Wisp already in control of the tower and going back for round 2 of their push. NASA's going to have to really put on the brakes here because they don't have any checkpoints standing between them and the victory of the game.
Well, they do have one. I misspoke earlier, but 25 is really good. Nice shred on the Booyah there from the members of Wisp. You can see that you've got members jumping into mid now. You've got two people down on the side of NASA. So this is going to be another strong start to a push for Wisp, it looks like. I'm kind of surprised that they're not pushing the tower up more aggressively, but 3 down, maybe that'll get them moving a little bit.
They have quite the solid lead. There's, other than taking on that third checkpoint into KO, there's not much more they have left to do. So they have their options, but yeah, 3 members down. They do have the a nice double with that booyah right there. That is definitely going to be opening up a window for another solid push here.
Yeah, that was a good crunch between the Booyah and the Section Bomb. Excellent teamwork, but 2 members of Wisp did go down. Make that a 3rd member going down as well. They sniffed Allie out. So that push is going to be done for Wisp. Now the members of NASA are going to try and come in and see if they can turn the plat a little bit blue, 1 down on the side of Wisp. So this is one of the few times during this entire game where Wisp has been very backed up into their spawn.
Yeah, NASA and Otters are definitely putting on the pressure here, getting to that first checkpoint for the first time and running right through it. 40 seconds left remaining. They are on a crunch for time, but they do have only 1 member remaining, and that member is going to town on their team right now, just absolutely decimating the Tower Rider.
Yeah, we had a good old-fashioned 1v1 there for a moment. A true 1v1. Retro getting sniffed out by Apple. 17 kills already. Apple's just going crazy.
Absolutely going ham on NASA here as we get down to the last 20 seconds. This is going to be now or never for them if they're going to want to get any more points on the board.
The 2v2 tower is in mid, but you've got members of NASA in mid as well, so it looks like they will get a person on the tower. Members are going for it. Apple gets another pick. NASA's going for the tower now. They're going to try and sniff out the member, Apple there. And Wisp just sneaks in there and takes that tower back at the last possible second to deny NASA overtime.
Tower control is definitely one of those modes that you do well to rack up those kills because you know exactly where they want to go. 20 splats. Well done to Apple right there. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Apple is just a beast with that K-Gal. Really, all the members of Wisp are very good with a very small subset of weapon. They're very, very much specialists. So it's really interesting to see them play, and it's a comp that you don't think that a lot of people would put together necessarily because of the specialty weapons and also because some of them are very difficult to play. So it's nice to see it really put together and work.
Indeed.
And NASA, no shade on NASA. NASA is incredibly strong as well. If I am correct, NASA is actually most of the members of an older Div 1 team called Tsunami, who was really good back in the day.
Yes. Yeah, they put up a heck of a fight. It is, yeah, tower control in particular, just like, it's hard to come back from such a large lead like that. You really need to build up the momentum to come back.
We see a couple comp changes here. So Kira's going to swap over to the K-Shot. Apple is going to go on to the 10 Tech Splatter Shot. And then Shadolfin's going to swap the H3D for the Zap. Allie's going to stay on those Tetras, not swapping over to the light Tetras, which I do know she runs occasionally. Meanwhile, on the side of NASA, we have a Splash Neo, a Forge Pro, K-Shot, and Zap. 1 member down on the side of Wisp, so it looks like NASA's going to pick up the Rainmaker first and see if they can get a push going. The Bomb Rush is coming out to make sure that members of Wisp stay away. 1 member of NASA will fall to the missiles, and it looks like the members of NASA have figured out that they aren't exactly hidden over there. 2 go down. The Dolphin's going to rush that Rainmaker, manages to get the pick and stays alive, so that is a delayed 3 down, and with 2 members going after Retro, I would not want to be Retro right now. They're going to run, and for good reason.
Yeah, it's trying to hide right there next to that sponge, hoping to set up the next push. They were quickly sniffed out, as you so put, and they are going to have to back it up to mid. But we do see the full team of NASA coming back at full strength, so they won't be able to get to that Rainmaker, and it will be resetting. However, they still have full strength to keep map control, so it's going to be a while before Wisp has a solid footing for a push of their own.
Now, Alan manages to get a pick off of the Rainmaker using that splashdown. Goes after a couple. Might die here. Manages to get 1. Can they get the other? Nope. Otter manages to get the best of the Tetra Demon today.
And that's going to be 3 down for the side of Wisp. And Otter setting up once again with that Bomb Rush on the left side, hoping to get that Rainmaker, and the drawbridge is down. That is a huge, good swing of luck for them, but they are able to get a very clean run to the pedestal, except the demon is once again back and taking down the entire squad, pushing it up to 36.
Retro is in their spawn and gets sniffed out, and this time he does not escape. Dolphin's going to get that pick, and Rainmaker's about to reset back to mid, and with the numbers advantage right now that Wisp has, I'm assuming that they're going to get that pop. One goes down, another one goes down. Ally does die to those missiles, but a 2-for-1 special is not bad, you know? Especially when you figure Tetra's job is to run in and be annoying, get some kills, and then die so the quick respawn activates. Inkjet gets one. Rainmaker's still alive, but those bomb pressures, Retro taken down. And then there's drawbridges coming down as well, so they're going to go straight over that. And they get the lead, 2-3 down on the side of NASA. Allie's going to slash down Pop It, and then they're going to rush ahead. Gets one. Can they get another? Some things are a little bit too much to hope for, but you can't blame them for trying.
Yeah, it was getting quite dangerous for the side of NASA because they were a little bit staggered there. Their teammates were coming in one by one from spawn, and so they were just able to get the wipe, able to take down the Rainmaker before they were able to knock it out. But if they any one wrong move, and that could have been the end of the game right there.
Yeah, one down on the side of NASA. Specials coming out now. You can see that the bubble blower came out, the suction bomb to try and clear out the areas around the snipe, the area around the court. But the rusher does get taken down. NASA's going to get taken down to Apple. Bombs are mid, 2 down on the side of NASA. Make that 3 down. Can we get the 4th? Yes, we do. That is the quad for Apple. And again, Wisp is going to pick up this Rainmaker. They're taking it top left, which is usually how you want to push the Rainmaker on this map. You rarely see people pushing it right, maybe in Soul too. And the Inkjet coming out now to try and keep that area clean, but Retro manages to get that taken out. 2 down now on the side of Wisp.
With a minute left remaining, 3 members down for the side of Wisp. They have NASA once again has a chance to bring back that lead, but that is going to be rather difficult. 15 points is quite the mountain to climb here. They are going to be opting to take that right side here, which is the safer push, but with Apple sharking on that top area, they are not safe anywhere.
Triple from Apple there. Really, really nice. And you've got only a few members up on either side of the field. You can see Shadolphin's going to kind of poke in the middle a little bit, make sure that nobody's hanging out over there to try and sneak in and grab the Rainmaker, which is smart. Rainmaker's going to reset now. And with 70 seconds on the clock, this is going to be hard to call. You got the bomb rush that came out super early from Otter to try and get their teammates in spawn area. But he goes down to one member of Wisp. You got on everybody up on the left-hand side, though. If NASA is smart, they are going to take that Rainmaker right because the members of Wisp are all left. 1 down on side of NASA, 2 down on the side of Wisp. Otter's going to try and go for that sponge, but the bombs there are going to force them back. Rainmaker is running out of time. There are 37 seconds left on the timer. They're up on the left-hand side now, but the bombs coming in are relentless. There are so many bombs. 1 goes down, 2 goes down, and then Apple comes in with its T-Tech and just completely kills the Rainmaker.
I think NASA Loves Otters will have to change their name to Dr. & Co. Apple is just going completely bonkers on them today.
You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well,
Exactly.
An apple is the doctor. You're going to get the apple and you're going to like it.
Oh, man.
Also, can we just point out that 3 members of Wisp got 16 or more kills that game?
That was nuts. That was absolutely crazy. I have to say, taking that left side right at the end there might... Well, I think to your point, you point out they should have taken it to the right side, as all of Wisp was set up. They knew that they're going to be coming in on that left side, and they were bombs everywhere. They just had that place locked down. There's no way they're going to be able to get past that.
That, of course, is not to say that NASA would have won if they had taken the right side. Just would have probably increased their chances a little bit, because then you have to reposition. So even though the set will go to Wisp, NASA can still get a very key win here for tiebreakers when seeding brackets. And
Yeah,
Clam Blitz Snapper Snail is one of those funky maps where anything can happen because of how big it is and the fact that it's separated. You often have to be split into two smaller groups on the team, usually 2 people per side, or maybe a 3 and 1, just because of that big canal in the middle.
mm-hmm. And there's a lot of open space on either side of it, too.
Yeah, it's such a huge map, and this is one of the maps where you actually use all of it in Clam Blitz. It's not like Piranha Pit where the giant useless areas, you might shoot something down there to get some paint, but other than that, you're really not going down there.
I just like to think of that area as beacon areas.
So we do see some more fun comp changes on the side of Wisp. Apple has picked up the Nail's Flesh. I guess they stole that from Otter, who has taken the K-Shot from Kira. Meanwhile, on the side of NASA as well, NASA snuck into Shadolfin's house and stolen the H3D because that's what they're holding. And 1 down on the side. Make that 3 down on each team. We have a good old-fashioned 1v1. Place your bets now, people.
They're going to be just trying to poke at each other as they take control of the clams. Their teammates respawn. Still pretty even right now. I say that as the Dapple Doolies, oh not the Dapple Doolies, the Doolies come out and just open up a huge opening right up to their street. And then Otter comes in and says, nope, not today. Not today. That is going to be a wipe for Wisp as they were just able to get that power clam.
Yeah, but honestly, the fact that they were able to get the power clam, even though they didn't put it in, it was still good because instead of dropping 9 little clams for NASA to pick up, they dropped a nice power clam that NASA can stare at and wish that it was still 9 little clams for them to pick up. You can see, though, that members are getting really close to building balls. NASA's got 8. They're going to be forced back because of the missile. 1 down on the side of Wisp. Armor coming out now from Wisp to try and push the members of NASA back a little bit. Otter's going to come in across the cut with the power clam. Love's going to have the bubbles out to try and provide some protection. But they're almost popped. 1 down on, make the 2 down on the side of NASA. 3 down on, no, full wipe on the side of Wisp, sorry. So this is going to be a huge push.
This is a complete turnaround from what we've seen before. NASA is coming in with the double ball burst to start us off, and then a huge amount of clams coming in. They are already down to 18 here.
Yeah, but 2 down on the side of NASA. The 2 down on the side of Wisp. And you can see that Raleigh knows that members of NASA are over there. Oh, lasered by the H3 bow. Allie falling to that perfect burst shot.
NASA's still alive and kicking, just really drawing attention to themselves as their teammates coming in to pick up those clams. Already in control of another power clam and well set up for another push. All I need now is the utilization of the specials.
Yeah, Apple's going to fall right before they get that bomb rush, which would have been so good for defense. So Retro's going to keep the left area nice and blue for their teammates. 1 down on the side of NASA. The bubbles coming out, but they get popped. That's 3 down. Retro's the last. Manages to get the pick, but then dies. So a free power clam for Wisp, essentially, because of that push. But only 21 points for NASA in terms of penalty. That is 1 power clam. They get 2 power clams in. This game is done.
Yeah, they weren't quite able to eat through their last penalty, but they don't have that much of it left at this point in time.
Yeah, so now Wisp has to really step things up because they need to get moving. 2 minutes left, and they haven't managed to make a single push yet. Oh, RNG at its best. I don't even know who Otter is fighting. Apple survives due to RNG. And a whole lot of
Apple wasn't even their intended target. Apple just came in and saw a potential kill and just went for it. Apple once again going in another fight and wins that fight. Is pretty even now as far as clams and paint is concerned.
Yeah, 2v2, 1 vote. You don't really want to take those even though Apple gets trade. Does fall to NASA with the H3. You can see 2 members of Wisp looking over on the right-hand side trying and they get a pick off of Otter maybe. Not able to find him, and the members of NASA are quickly coming in. You can see that Otter is flanking onto the snipe, which is very, very deadly if nobody's paying attention. Allie falls. 2, 3 down on the side of NASA though, so NASA's the only one left up on NASA. And never mind, they're on the trip to space. Might land at the spawn point eventually.
Yeah, NASA is down in all shapes and forms, and Wisp is coming back with a lot of map control and a lot of clams to back it up.
Yeah.
A bomb rush comes out, the pick gets taken down, and the clams are going in.
Yeah, but they only have 10 little clams remaining. Apple's going to try and get a pick, but with Retro having slightly more range, but they get the pick. Otter manages to get to Dolphin. Allie's going to try and see if they can get the pick. They do a splash down for a panic button if necessary, and here it comes. Manages to get the pick off of one. Can they get the lead? They get the lead! One more clam. Oh, it just barely gets in! Just as the last member of Wisp falls. They've already thrown that clam. It's on its way, and that is it. 3-0 for Wisp. A real nail biter, that last one.
Oh my goodness. It was so back and forth through the middle of that match. And then Wisp just came in, guns a-blazing, clams a-throwing, and they got that lead in record time with not that much left in the match. 3-0 for Wisp in this round. Wow.
Yeah, that was just a really, really incredible set. Set to finish it.
It honestly took me by surprise. Like I wasn't even paying attention to the point counter until I saw it was already down to 9, and whoa, what?
Yeah, courtesy of a lot of power clams and a lot of little clams. And with that awesome set, Nessie's pools are over. We're going to close the pool for cleaning for a bit.
Yes, we want to promote our upcoming events once again before we go to a break before the shark bracket. We want to make sure everyone is out before we release sharks.
Yep, gotta let the sharks go swimming so everybody's getting out of the pool. We want to remind you that the Splatoon Advanced Circuit is this weekend. Second tournament will be happening on Saturday, July 16th at 2 p.m. EST. You can see other times and other time zones on the screen. If you are below +2, so +3, and then anything below +3, you're eligible to play. And you'll be able to earn more points for the overall circuit by playing in this tournament. The 8 teams with the most points by the end of the 4th tournament will be invited to play in SAC finals to be crowned the best mid-level team in Splatoon 2. So definitely try and sign up. I know a lot of people have been looking for a good mid-level tournament or tournament series, and while SLS is great, this is great too.
And then coming up also in July 23rd through the 24th, we have Super Jump 2. It's going to be a large prize pool, 2 waves of competition, and a quality live stream. It's going to be a 2-day format with multiple Day 2 brackets, so everyone will find matches close to their skill level. Once again, it's going to be July 23rd to the 24th, but not only that, there's going to be some unique prizes for upcoming tournaments as well.
Yes, there is. The winners of all non-alpha brackets will be entered into a raffle to win a set of Riptide passes. We actually forgot to mention this earlier, but the top 2 teams from the Americas and the top 2 teams from EU will be invited to play in the Splat World Championship that is run by the same people that put the Area Cup on over in Japan. And then finally, the top 2 teams in Super Jump will win free passes to Shine 2022, which is, coincidentally, the next big LAN.
Yes, Shine is going to be August 26th to the 28th, and Riptide will be September 9th through the 11th, so you won't want to miss out on all these fantastic Splatoon 2 events coming up. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Oh yes, I am super excited. And of course, some people are probably sitting over there behind the screen thinking, well, I'm a broke high school student. I'm a broke college student. I can't go to these fun lands, but I still want to be involved in the community. What can I do? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. Inkling Performance Labs, the people that run the streams like the one you're watching right now, have staff applications open. We are always looking for additions to our production and commentary team. If you're interested in helping out in these areas, there is a form that you can find by putting !help us in chat. fill that out. If you're interested in more in one area, you can fill out multiple times, and we will be in touch.
And I believe that is all we got for now. So sit tight, get up, grab some popcorn, grab some whatever you need, use the restroom, and we will be returned with our finals, our shark bracket.
What is up? We are back with the Great White Bracket of Swim or Sink 75. I am Shads, joined by IMAD, and we have Snack Pack Chocolate Pudding versus Cherry Limeade, which honestly sounds like a real sugar rush.
That looks a sugar rush indeed. We have quite the lineup. We are going to be very much biased. We have on the side of Cherry Limeade our one and only Raze, our beloved head TO of Inkling Performance Labs, and a stellar coach as well.
Make sure you check him out. He's on Medify.
Indeed, indeed. But we don't want to overshadow Snack Pack Pudding. I am not that as familiar with their lineup, but we will be having a fantastic matchup for our quarterfinals of Great White.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Blanket, I believe, plays Rollers. If it's the same Blanket I'm thinking about, they play Rollers, which is really fun because Rollers are just not commonly seen. Meanwhile, on the side of Cherry Limeade, we of course have Lily and Krim, who both were on a little team called Vitamin C. I think people actually might have heard of them. They were kind of a big deal back in the day, and then Shiny Boy, I am personally biased in favor of Shiny Boy because Shiny Boy plays Chargers and I like Chargers.
Yes, it's gonna be a fantastic match to watch. It's gonna be. Well, actually, no. Zones Reef is a pretty stable map mode, so we can see the usual picks coming out, or some of our players' staple picks. And I
hope
excited
somebody
to watch.
plays Dynamo. Somebody please play Dynamo. It will be so much fun to watch a Dynamo on this map.
Yes, absolutely. I have to say, Reef Zones is definitely one of my favorite map modes.
Okay, so we don't see a Dynamo, but we do see some fun picks. First up, on the side of Cherry Limeade, not only do we see a regular Blaster hero replicant, because Pika has culture and class, and the hero replica is always better. We also see a custom E-Leader 3K. Now, normally you don't see the custom E-Leader too often. Really, you don't see an E-Leader too often. Then on the side of Snack Pack Chocolate Pudding, we have a Mini. Saw one of those earlier. Moo is running a Gal, and they're pretty good with the Gal. Got a Neo Splash and N-Zap. Everybody's favorite N-Zap.
Yes, there's going to be bubbles and beacons for that E-Leader. Very interesting indeed. And we have sort of the more common comp on the side of Snack Pack, and the more unusual picks for Cherry Limeade. Snack Pack is in control for the time being, but it is still pretty close, as they are going to be ticking down.
Yeah, 2 specials on the line for the side of Snack Pack. Made that 3, and only 1 special on the line for Cherry Limeade, so things are kind of looking like they're going to get in the pickle, which I don't think is a great flavor of Limeade, personally. Bubbles coming out from, Shiny Missiles coming out from Snack Pack Chocolate Pudding, and Ray looks like the Blaster is going to go down. Make that 2 down on the side of Cherry Limeade. Zone is not capped in their favor, so looks like Chocolate Pudding is going to really try and see if they can just get a quick KO with 15 seconds left on the clock. But here comes a splashdown, getting, I think, 2. Pika with a spicy pick, gets a nice direct for the 3rd. Beautiful triple hit there. And the zone is going to quickly shift in favor of Cherry Limeade. We do see one member of Snack Pack is in the back trying to keep it a little blue, but not able to stop that pick, and that is a hefty penalty for him.
That is quite the penalty indeed. With zones not over till it's over, that was a very clutch take back with the splashdown pincher combo. They are going to have to hold on to it. It's some decent map control, but Snack Pack is slowly moving back in. Yes, they do flip the zone back.
Yeah, 3 blades down on the side of Cherry Limeade, raising the only one left with that flash nuke. So they're going to see if they can get the pick. 2 managed to get 1, not able to get the one that comes in from the side. That would be Moo on the Gal, already operating with 6 kills on the board. Very, very nice. And the penalty for Snack Pack is halfway gone. So Cherry Limeade's got to get moving.
Unfortunately, their paint coverage is pretty much cut in half with the E-Leader Blaster combo. They have certainly the kill potential, but going up against a quad shooter, they certainly have their work cut out for them. This Mini already making short work of the zone, going close quarters with that blaster, but they do get taken down below bridge. 2 members of Snack Pack are down, so there's going to be an excellent opportunity for Cherry Limeade to really dig their heels in and set up for a lockout maneuver.
Yeah, especially with Shiny on the bridge right there. That is a great spot for any charger or any backline really to sit. You can control so much of the map from right there. And China's actually going to push up a little bit further here to see if they can get some more picks. Bubbles coming out. Looks like half is going to come around from on the side, see if they can get a flank. Looks like able to get raised thanks to that armor. One down on the side of Cherry Limeade, one down on the side of Snack Pack though, and a beautiful snipe there. Pika going down to the bomb rush, but then Shiny cleaning up and avenging their teammates' death. And so it's a 1v1 on the field, and the zone is still in Cherry Limeade's favor, so we could potentially see a lead flip here, especially with the lack of specials from Snack Pack.
Yes, they're getting down, but that Booyah does come in, takes down at least one of the members, and so there's going to be 3 members of Cherry Limeade down. Still 9 points from that lead, but it's still pretty close. There's still a hefty penalty for Snack Pack to get through. There is a little bit of time left for Cherry Limeade to make a move.
Yeah, it looks like one of Lily's bombs found a member of Snack Pack. Lily gets another one with a close quarter junior fight, not able to clean up on Muvo, who might go for a flank on the blaster. I'm not sure if Pika knows that they're there, but the E-Leader does, and Moo is forced to jump out, so the zone flips back in favor of Cherry Limeade. Even though one of them did go down.
Blaster coming back from spawn. The rest of the Cherry Limeade slowly being pushed back, but the Blaster coming in on the bridge, pushing them back before they are taken down. A 2v2 situation, and Shiny once again in control of the bridge. Although they're being chased by an armor-clad Snack Pack, is not a good position to be in for an E-Leader.
Yeah, and Pika manages to get a pick, but Pika is the only one up with 4 seconds left. The Blaster is just not going to catch those zones, even with the bubble right there. It pops, and the first match goes to Snack Pack.
Yeah, I think once again for a zones mode, they were just a little bit more outpainted. I think if they were able to get a bit more footing in earlier on and possibly getting that blaster underneath the ledges would be phenomenal. There's an excellent place where you want your blaster to be, but they kept being on the back foot, they kept being pushed back, and so just the quad shooter outpainted them as pretty much it.
Really, especially when you have, well, it wasn't quad shooter, it did have the mini, but a mini does paint a fair amount.
It is a pretty decent painter in and of its own.
It is still anybody's set though, because, well, I mean, Snack Pack still has to win 2 more games to move on to the next round. Cherry Limeade could easily make a comeback. They're going to start on Tower Control Starfish main stage.
It's going to be a best of 5. And as you said, we are on to Tower Control Starfish main stage. Do you expect to see some very similar comps coming out, or do you think they'll be swapping it up?
Shiny will definitely swap. I don't know if Shiny's going to swap to one of the splatter scopes, or if they're going to go all the way into jet territory. I can't really foresee anybody else on Cherry Limeade swapping. Pika might go over to a Slosher, but they were doing a decent job with that Blaster, and honestly, Blaster can be really good on Tower Control. On terms of Snack Pack, the only one I'm really familiar with is Moo, so I expect Moo to stay on the Gal. I don't know what the rest of them will do. I think that was the first time I saw the other ones play, so I don't have enough historical data to make a guess.
Well, the comp they were running is definitely very versatile. They could easily bring it back. I think Gal is a stellar choice for Tower Control with that Booyah Bomb. And yes, we see the return of a Gal as well as an additional Gal for Cherry Limeade. And that's actually going to be a swapping out, I think it was the K-Shot for that Carbon Roller.
Yeah, the K-Shot swapped to the Carbon Roller on the side of Snack Pack. Meanwhile, on the side of Cherry Limeade, Shiny has actually stayed with the custom E-Leader. Pika has swapped over to the Kenta Luna, which has a pretty fun kit. But with 2 down on the side of Cherry Limeade, it looks like Snack Pack's going to get this first push. On the side of Snack Pack, though, I'm not sure if Snack Pack has enough paint to support that Carbon. Yes, the Zenzap and the Mini paint a lot, but I'm not sure they painted enough for an ink-hungry weapon like the Carbon.
I would have to agree with you there, and especially going up against a long-range weapon, and just like the E-Leader is got a lot of visibility and range, and so they can shout out that Carbon Roller and just cut across their path easily, keep them from getting anywhere too deadly. Yeah, that Carbon Roller is just trying to find some place for it. It is able to take out the Tower Rider, but there's not a whole lot for them to work with.
Which does help a bit with sneaking around. So it looks like Cherry Limeade is going to get a push to 80, but that is not exactly a push that will win the game on this map. Pika's going to go for a flank up here in the attic. Looks like they're hiding up there. Not sure if anybody sees them. Well, they definitely know they're here now. Unfortunately, misses the direct on the Mini, who gets the pick. 2 down on the side of Cherry Limeade versus 2. First, make that 3 down on the side of Cherry Limeade. And Shiny gets the nice pick on the Mini that's riding on tower, but the Booyah and the missiles are going to force them to be displaced, so they're not going to stop them from taking the lead.
Yeah, they're ooh, the nice bubble there coming out from that E-Leader. It doesn't have the direct line of sight to stop the tower, but that bubble's coming in with the pop kill, and that's a second one for the E-Leader, doing a phenomenal job of just keeping them from getting too far on that tower. With 2 members of Snack Pack down, Cherry Limeade is able to sneak back in, able to take control of the stage area and take control of mid.
Yep, Braze is waiting in the wings, going to climb on that tower. You can see that Shiny is up in the attic, but Moo is going up for a nice flank on him. I think Shiny knows that they're there, though, so looks like they'll just back off a little bit. Not sure where exactly. Moo's forced to drop. Does not manage to get the pick on the E-Leader, but the E-Leader is forced to jump out, so that's close enough to getting the kill. A Booyah gets forced from the gal, who's going to try and chase somebody into Cherry Limeade's pit area, not able to find anyone, and loses their ink armor to Boo, but 2 down on the side of Cherry Limeade again.
Now, I noticed just in the corner there up in the attic, Shiny has a beacon place, so that's going to be excellent for, or if they're checking their map regularly, just calling out any sort of flank from that right side there, as well as just a handy jump back into mid area. It looks like it has been taken out for the time being. And Snack Pack really going to town with this tower, already onto the second checkpoint and still going strong. That is going to be the Tower Rider taken out by Raze here.
Yeah, Raze cleans up after using Chinese bubbles to take off armor. 2 down on the side of Snack Pack. Third one jumps out. So this is actually a really opportune moment for Cherry Limeade to push into mid and see if they can get the paint. Looks like one member of Snack Pack has respawned and might be lurking around the street somewhere to try and get some paint down into mid. The Mini is in the pit. Booyah coming out from Raze now. Looks like they're going to toss it in mid for a flank, potentially. And then the Booyah coming out from the gal on the side of Snack Pack as well. Not able to find anyone. Pika going down to a member of Snack Pack. And Shiny is on that tower. Gets a nice pick. Trades with the bomb bow.
Yeah, that was quite the unfortunate bomb there. Trying to sidestep it a bit, but not quite enough. That is going to be 3 down for Snack Pack, so Cherry Limeade is able to get through this first checkpoint, and with a minute left remaining, they have not a whole lot of time, but certainly enough time to bring back its lead.
Yeah, Moo gets taken down by the E-Leader. There's a jump up top right, so Beam's Dark Spot actually got snipped out by his teammate there. And the lead goes in favor of Cherry Limeade. That is huge. And it looks like they're almost through the check as well. Yeah, they're through the checkpoint, so they can get through the checkpoint and get some more points. Meanwhile, Snack Pack pushes back to the second check. They gotta still get through it. 2 going down on the side of Cherry Limeade, so it looks like this is probably going to end that push right there. Half is stalking around on the left-hand side. Looks like they might get somebody here. Yes, they do. Willie, unfortunately, going down. Pika comes in to clean up their killer, though.
Yeah, with only 10 seconds remaining and still another checkpoint to get through before they get to the lead, they are going to really have to play hardball in order to bring this back. They're going to have to be constant control of tower, and with 2 members down, it's going to be really difficult to do. That Luna's already in position to be sharking the tower.
And you can see right there, Shiny gets the pick, and members jumping in. The bubbles get a pop mid-air, it looks like. And that is that. Cherry Limeade will take game 2.
GG's all around. That was quite the comeback for Cherry Limeade there.
Yeah, especially because it really seemed that Snack Pack had them on the ropes for the main part of the match.
Yeah, they had a solid lead through the first, 4 minutes. I think that, but that's just a testament to the, once again, the snowball-esque nature of tower controls. Like, once you get good momentum going, like, just the one push is all you need.
Yeah. So Rainmaker Muscle Forge Fitness is next.
Oh boy.
This is an interesting map. So there is the railway that you can push in, which almost nobody takes, but every once in a while somebody gets an epic awesome flank off of it. And then you run into a solo queue where everybody takes that path and you wonder why people take it. But it's such a small map, just in general. And there's a huge choke point right before the pedestal, around the 15-point mark, that really can make or break getting the lead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is one of those map modes that is the epitome of over in 5 seconds or take all 5 minutes. It's because of Rainmaker, it can be over in the blink of an eye, but because it is such a small map with such huge or just very narrow choke points, as long as you keep your head on your shoulders and your team up from spawn, you can easily keep them from getting to that pedestal.
So you know what's going to be good here? Blasters and sloshers, because of the ledges.
Yep,
And Shiny is too, because Shiny has an Explosher. Something that will make Vapor happy, but not a weapon that you really see too much in Rainmaker.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most common choice, but with this particular map terrain, we might see it come in quite handy here. The Blaster already trying to sniff out someone in the alley area, but there's going to be 3 members down for the side of Cherry Limeade, with the last remaining jumping out. So we hear Half already making a path up that right side with that Explosher, and the Poison is out here to stop them from getting too far.
Yeah, Inkjet coming in now from, it looks like, the Nautilus. But that gets taken down as well, so even though the members of... Here comes the flank move coming in with a flank, and looks like they're getting sniffed out, but they're going to have to jump, and 3 of their teammates went down, so that is an effective wipe. Shiny's going to pick up that Rainmaker, which is smart. In a push situation, you want to have the Explo holding the Rainmaker rather than the Junior. Raze is going to get the instant pop on the Rainmaker with the Bomb Rush. Missiles coming out to try and delay a Cherry Limeade. And Snack Pack is pushing in. You can see half and half right over on the right-hand lockers. And it looks like they might actually be going for the rail. Yeah, they're going for the rail.
Oh, they're not quite able to make it. Half coming in with the double there, but the Shiny here with the triple on the Explo. Already going to be popping. It's going to be difficult to get to as Snack Pack is already respawning. So unless the bubbles are able to... Nah. It's just a contention for that... Oh, he missed it.
Oh, and I honestly am very surprised that they didn't pick up the Rainmaker the first time, but they do get the lead up to 36. 3 down on the side of Cherry Limeade, so that means that the map is going to get very, very blue very quickly. Now, Cherry Limeade has a really heavy painting comp. All of those weapons aside from the Blaster paint like a dream. So it's going to be hard for Snack Pack to really maintain turf control unless they keep at least one of those down.
I think the key point is definitely going to be utilizing that Inkjet to get in up top where the defenders are and take down the... I think the Expo is going to be the main target as their residential backline. But using the Inkjet to get into their area is going to be quite key for just getting a decent push. But here we see Ray's last member remaining take down the Rainmaker and using Bomb Rush to just stall them out as his team is respawning.
And having that stall is really good because it does help the rest of Cherry Limeade have time to respawn and get back into mid. 1 member down on each side of the field. Half is going to pick up the Rainmaker. Interesting choice there. Not sure I would have the Splash Neo pick it up. And it looks like Raze is going to get hit by an Aaron or Rainmaker shot, so they're going to go down. You've got 2 members down on the side of Cherry Limeade, but the bubbles coming out from Cherry Limeade are going to really delay that Rainmaker. You can see the beam is really trying to make sure that they don't get popped. Members are jumping in, but all of Cherry Limeade has respawned at this point, which is not what you want to see if you're a Snack Pack.
Yeah, the Rainmaker's doing an excellent job of staying alive, but unfortunately their support force, the rest of their team is just going down one by one trying to create that path. The Explo here doing a phenomenal job of just holding that line, keeping them from getting too far. and we are going to be 10 seconds away from the pop of the Rainmaker.
Yeah, they ran for it. Oh, they got the lead. They got the
lead.
Just barely. The last second Rainmaker died.
Using the last remaining seconds of their little squid life, they were able to get that lead, and with a minute remaining, that is going to be cutting it close for Cherry Limeade if they want to bring this back.
Yeah, it is. It can be really hard to push past 36, 34 because of the aforementioned choke points. But there's a minute left. It's still anyone's game. One down on each side of the field. Pika is really trying to get some picks with that blaster. They know that Moo is up on the left-hand side. The missiles come out. Armor coming out. And you can see the bomb there just taking out members left and right. Lily is the last to fall. That's a full wipe on the side of Cherry Limeade. So Snack Pack is going to really start moving and getting this mid very blue.
Yeah, with only 30 seconds remaining, they have plenty of time to hold on to that Rainmaker. They're going to, looks like they're already setting up in this right locker here, which is a prime position to just wait out the rest of the game. They have a good view of both middle and right, and with that, basically one side they don't have to worry about at all. It's going to be rather difficult for Cherry Limeade to come in and pop that Maker.
Yeah, the bubbles do come out from the X-Flosher, but they're going to have a hard time picking a Rainmaker off, especially when they're that far away. Raze is going to have to go in for a hero play, dies to the Rainmaker shot. Last one up is Lily, and I don't think Lily's going to be able to make it in time.
Snack Pack taking the second match. We are currently 2-1, but it is still anyone's round.
That one was a nail-biter for sure.
Yeah, that was down to the wire all the way through. Like I didn't even realize until several seconds after the fact that they were able to get that lead. That was quite impressive.
Yeah, there was just so many messages flying on the screen. They've lost the Rainmaker. We've gotten the Rainmaker, her, and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, boom! Oh yeah, they're at 34, not 38 or whatever they were beforehand. So things are getting dangerous for Cherry Limeade. Lamblets Mako Mart is do or die for them. If they do not win, they are out of the tournament. For the week.
Lamblets on Makamar, another small map with a very volatile mode. This is going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to be seeing too much of a... Well, actually, no. It's hard to tell because they can easily stick with one of their... the comps that they used already, but they have a lot of wiggle room if they wanted to change it up a bit.
Shiny might change. If Shiny changes, I expect it to be to a Jet or a Bamboo. But I could be totally wrong. Pika might change just because this is such a good slosher map, and I know Pika can play a mean slosher. But they also seem to be having a really fun time with that blaster over there. So I could totally understand saying, forget what's quote-unquote better. I want to play what will make me have fun.
And at the end of the day, that's really what matters. We're going to be hopping in. Let's see what we got lined up. E-Leader would be strong, but for Clan Blaze, I could easily see them swapping to something else, as you said.
E-Leader's a risk on clams because it's such a slow up and on a fast-paced mode.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone can pull it off, it's definitely Shiny. It looks like we'll see if they can.
Bring back
Shiny
the custom
grousing out
E-Leader.
the custom E-Leader.
Well, Pika coming back with the Luna Blaster as well.
Honestly, not a bad pick for this map. The ledges aren't as tall as they are on the other map that they were playing Kensaluna on.
That is true. They have a little bit more reach.
Side of the field, Ray's going to get a pick on one and a quick clam pop for Cherry Limeade.
30 seconds in with our first pop, getting some extra clams in for good measure. Pika and Ray's really pushing up here, trying to solidify their hold over the basket, but unfortunately they do go 3 down, so it's just going to be Ray's here remaining, trying to get as many clams in before they have to hop out. But they're still alive, they're still kicking.
Gonna hop out.
Yeah, no, not today. Not today.
But with the amount of extra clams they got it down to 44, which is an excellent starting push, especially in the first minute, because you figure first minute, you don't have time to really store up any of those clams. One down on the side of Snack Pack, one down on the side of Cherry Limeade. Make that 2 down. Shiny has bubbles out, but it looks like half is going for a flank, manages to find them, and they're in a good position to get not just that power clam in, but also jumps for teammates. Bomb Rush coming out now. That's going to be so deadly for the members of Cherry Limeade as they come back in. Pika's forced to rush straight into the members of Snack Pack as they're coming into spawn. Beam is up at the top right. Moo manages to get that power clam in just before they die to Pika's shot, which is really, really important. So push to 33. Cherry Limeade came out strong. Snack Pack saw that and was like, we can do you one better.
An excellent push, but that is going to be leaving Cherry Limeade with 2 whole power clams in their possession. Not quite enough unless they have some follow-up clams to get that lead. There's still a sizable penalty, but we do see bubbles coming out as they are pushing right in with no fear, and that is going to be lead. I take that back.
And so that's the other way that you can push in using bubbles. Rather than doing an insta-pop a la Squeezer, you keep the bubbles there to protect your teammates as they come in. 1 power clam did not make it into the basket, but they did get to put points all the way down to 26. But the map is going to turn blue very quickly because so many members of Cherry Limeade went down. And Snack Pack not only has a power clam, but also 14 little clams. That is a lot of points. If I'm doing the math right, I think that might actually be enough to get it down to like 9.
That is certainly quite a bit of points, but it's hard to do that when you are at spawn. Pika coming here with the double, 3 members down. Cherry Limeade coming back for a second time, going for round 2 of their push. They just need to get a power clam.
Yeah, Shiny's got 8 clams, so they're in a good position to make a ball. Looks like Lily's going to toss them in. They were waiting for the bubbles, but oh, they get shredded this time. Snack Pack learned. 2 down on the side of Cherry Limeade. Beam's going to see if they can go for a 3rd. Can they get the 4th? Can they get the 4th? Lily's running. Lily's running. And they go down. Unfortunate. And with 23 clams, and keep in mind it's 23 without having the power clam picked up. Inkjet coming out now.
But they did not count for the sniper. The sniper shuts down that Inkjet as we see the jump coming in with the power clam, and they do get that lead.
Yeah, but a free power clam for Cherry Limeade, especially because of how yelled that map is, it's going to be really hard for Snack Pack to make anything else off that push. Pika's in a good sharking spot right now. Might go after the Knot. Just chases him off a little bit. Not interested in chasing that, which is smart. You don't want to really chase a Knot down that corridor. It's just asking to get shot at. 2 power clams coming in on the side of Cherry Limeade. Half and half coming in behind. The Inkjet manages to get them. Oh, do we see the lead? Yes, we do. And knocked out. So effectively, we have a best of 1 set now. Effectively.
Effectively, yeah. Going through 2-2. Nail biters of nail biters down to our 5th of 5. This has been a very impressive set. Cherry Limeade and Snack Pack going back and forth match for match, and it's going to be Splat Zones on Anchovy Games for our final match.
Shiny's going to have fun.
Oh, so much fun.
So which unhealthy snack is going to win? Are you Team Chocolate Pudding or Team Cherry Limeade?
Sweet or sour? What is your preference? I think we can expect for at least the E-Leader to coming back out, but do you expect any other comp changes?
If Shiny doesn't play E-Leader, Shiny's going to play either the X-Flow or the Fire Fin. I don't think I'll expect many comp changes other than that from Cherry Limeade. As much fun as it is to watch the Pika Slosher, the Pika Blaster is pretty fun, and Pika seems to be sticking with it. Lily is tried and true Junior, her one trick, so I think Lily's gonna stick Junior. Rave could swap to something. Oh, we do see Pika Slosher! Heck yeah! The Blabber is in the house! Pika has dropped the blaster and picked up the bathtub. Rave has swapped over to the Kenziel, which makes sense. You want to make up for the killing power that you're losing by going from the blaster to the Blobber. And Shiny still on that custom E-Leader. Meanwhile, on the side of Snack Pack, looks like the same comp that they ran for their first Zones match victory on the Reef. And a quick cap for Cherry Limeade. One member going down on Snack Pack. The Booyah Bomb almost capped that zone, not able to get it just in time. Bubbles coming out now from Shiny as well. Raises over on the left-hand side with that gal. Looks like one member is going after them, possibly two. Teammate comes and cleans that up, and Raises going to go onto that plat. Not able to pick off Beanbo.
Talk about a quick cap. We saw some quick specials coming out. At least 2 on the side of Cherry Limeade popped almost immediately, and then we had 3 in lineup for Snack Pack to retaliate. It was quite the showdown in this first minute here, but we do see Snack Pack coming back, taking control of that plat, and really making things difficult for Cherry Limeade as their timer does tick down.
Yeah, but it looks like Race is flanked around from behind, manages to get the pick off of Timo, got a little close there with that suction bomb raise. And 2 members of Snack Pack are down, so I'm guessing 1 member of Cherry Limeade got a pick while they were on flat. I know Shiny used the bubbles to try and force them off. A member of Snack Pack is on the fan using that bomb rush. The Booyah coming out as well. Raze is forced to panic Booyah to try and save themselves. Manages to stay alive. They're going to try and retreat somewhere, run straight into half, ink shots, and that's going to be that back to spawn for you.
Quite the team play there, launching the Booyah to protect the bomb rusher, so they were able to retake that zone there, and having to make them use their Booyah bomb in return. And so it's going to maintain control for the side of Snack Pack here, and they are well deep in Cherry Limeade territory right now.
Yeah, but those bubbles in the Balobber really doing a good job forcing them out. The bomb rush coming out now to get the insta-pop. 1 member down on each side of the field. Both the gals. Take that 2 down on the side of Snack Pack. Can we find a third? Can we find a third? Well, we do see that the bomb rush is online, so that's going to be the biggest target, I think. And here it comes, here it comes. Haas is using that bomb rush to try and get that cap back. Lily unfortunately went down to half, and the cap does come back, but Snack Pack burned so many specials. They have the Booyah ready, and the Booyah and the bubbles coming out on the side of Cherry Limeade, so that's really going to force the members of Snack Pack back, and it gets the pick on the Booyah as well, so that is not good for Snack Pack.
With everyone all in, this is the final match for the round, with deciding who continues on. Both teams are really going all out, going at it here. It's absolutely crazy. We see scuffles from the right, scuffles from the left, and it's just the zone is flipping back and forth with only a point difference between the lead.
1 point lead. Booyah coming out on the fan. Bubbles going out over the zone. Beautiful pick there on the fan from Shiny. No Booyah available for Snack Pack now for quite a while, but the other specials are getting close. Especially that bomb rush, which will do a good job capping zones since there is nothing on the side of Cherry Limeade that can stop that at the moment. Bomb rush coming out now from Half. You can see the Pikas on the fan trying to use the height advantage to their advantage. Half manages to get the pick on Lily again, and looks like they're going to go after Shiny, but Shiny knows that they're there, so it looks like Half's going to actually abandon that fight, which is pretty smart. You don't really want to go shooting towards somebody that knows you're there. Half does not manage to get the pick on Raze, and now Raze knows where they are. Teammate manages to pick them off, but you can better believe that they have been called out. And 10 points remaining on the penalty. Bubbles are being shredded, 1 down on the side of Cherry Limeade, so it looks like we're going to get a lead flip right here.
Yes, the lead's going to be going to Snack Pack here. I think, being able to know where each of the enemy mates are is really crucial for this map. Because having someone MIA is not good at all, especially when you're trying to maintain control of the zone. And speaking of maintaining control of the zone, we are down to the last 10 seconds, 30 seconds on the clock. It is going to have to be a Hail Mary, but that is going to be game. Snack Pack taking the victory and going on.
Once they managed to get Cherry Limeade to start coming in scattered, the Snack Pack really sealed that game. But Cherry Limeade fought really hard.
That was quite an impressive fight, and the KAs are not like there's not a single double digit, so it was very, I guess they definitely played for that mode. They were definitely trying to keep control of paint, keep control of the zone the whole time. It was crazy. That last match was crazy.
Yep. So I do believe that with that set over and done with, So is our time on the mic.
Yes, we will be passing it off to our next set of commentators for the rest of the top cuts. But before we go, where can the good people find you, my friend?
You can find me on Twitter at ShadowDragon42. You can also find me on Twitch at Ivy_Shads_. You've probably seen me in the chat. Sometimes I do streams. Usually not often, but sometimes I do. I'm Ed. Where can the good people find you?
Well, you can certainly find me on Twitch and Twitter at IMADGamerII, and sometimes you can see an occasional YouTube video at also IMADGamerII. But with that, that is going to be it for us. Stay tuned for the rest of Top Cut, and we should see you all later.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Acro Popcast. My name is Skepidillions, and I am here with my Captain Moth. Moth, what's good tonight?
Well, it would be good if you got the intro to the stream right. We're not on the Acro Popcast. We are on SOS number 75 Great White Bracket.
Oh my gosh, that's totally correct! I must be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, regardless, I'm really excited to get started in round 2 of Great White Bracket. We have Limit Break and Hedgehog here. We talked a little bit about Limit Break, Moth. What's going on over here?
Yeah, so we are looking at a JP pickup headed up by Doragon, who was also in charge of JP pickups that won SOS 72 and 73, but we're only seeing one returning player from SOS 72.
Yeah, so Doragon did set the league peak in the JP league thing that they do once a month, or that they did once a month. This last month was the final one. So a very well-received and well-known player on that side. And then on the side of the Hedgehog team, we have some familiar faces. The streamer Barry, who's known for their chargers. Rhythm, a Div 1 player known for their buckets. And then Sleepy, a very frequent tournament competitor who plays supports. We will be starting off on Tower Surgeon's Shipyard, so looking forward to seeing that charger come out from Barry.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a solid charger map. But I'm interested to see what Doragon has to do about the charger, right? You can solve that problem in a couple different ways, and I'm always looking for new ways to solve the problem of chargers, being a Hydra player myself.
Especially on a charger dominant map like Surgeon Shipyard, like getting that charger off of spinner and off of top right is how you win, right? Because it's so defensive for them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Very strong position. And there are a number of other strong positions that you have to keep him out of as well. Let's see what happens though.
Oh,
got a lot of bombs from Limit Break here.
Yeah, not just bombs, but it's almost like Yuri there knew that the charger was going to be there. Oh, but there is no charger! My eyes have deceived me. That is Barry on the CJ.
That's definitely an interesting pick. We'll see how it works out. We got an early Ray from Barry, too. That could be key to their strategy here.
Yeah, getting the pick on the K-shot there. The machine going down in that swap, though. 2 members down on each side as Limit Break is in control of the tower. So that early scrap did look to be in favor of Hedgehog there, but Limit Break very quickly turning this around.
Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to push the snipe here, get all Hedgehog's defense out of position. And this Ray is going to come in and try to clear window, or maybe something on the left. Either way, they're putting out a lot of pressure and clearing that first checkpoint.
Yeah, that first checkpoint having fallen in under a minute is huge for Limit Break here. We do see Barry getting a nice pick on one of those members of Limit Break. Another one falling, so that's just 1 member left in play. So Hedgehog taking a moment to smoke them out, but 2 going down in the process.
Yep. Cleaning up the court and moving up to try and get a first checkpoint push of their own. That's a good stop from Hedgehog, but they need to start moving it the other direction if they're going to win the game.
Yeah, they need to be able to get control of mid here, which is rather difficult with the pressure that Limit Break is putting up, specifically through that sub spam between the torpedoes and the burst bombs.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to take control, but it's taking early commitment of their specials, so we'll see how much they have left to get through that checkpoint. I know that they would love to save that Ray to get people out of window, but they're gonna have to find another way to do it now. And it looks like Butcher is taking the snipe position, which is going to be very strong. But if they get smoked out, then the rest of the team's gonna have to pick up the slack.
Yeah, 2 going down as Hedgehog does make that 3. Make that a wipe as Hedgehog was trying to clear that checkpoint. That is a solid checkpoint defense in favor of Limit Break, who are very quickly being rather aggressive here, pushing all the way up into Hedgehog's spawn.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Barry is maybe glad they didn't bring Elior right now, because I know that grate is hard to clear out, but if you don't have a fast weapon, but it looks like it is a fight to the death in there anyway.
Limit Break trying to clear that second checkpoint, not quite doing so. That machine, Rhythm putting up a fantastic defense there, working to clear that K Jr. on that right side, but Limit Break not quite giving that up yet. They do have that Ray that's going to be very useful in either creating a second opportunity at this push or defense. That Ray does come out as that tower rotates back to mid, and they're bleeding out this push. Limit Break not quite giving it up yet.
It's just great sustain from Limit Break here. Soaked up a lot of pressure from the K Machine. And now they're taking a Ray at the tower, but it's unless Hedgehog gets in there quick, they're going to clear the checkpoint.
They might just.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like Rhythm is putting up a fantastic defense there, getting the C-Jet off of that tower. But it's not. You have to remember that Limit Break is pushing that tower in order to create an offensive buffer for them. They have excellent control of mid. Hedgehog can't even break into mid in order to get anywhere near that first checkpoint. In terms of who needs to be having more offensive pressure, that is Hedgehog right now. And they can't do that with their primary Slayer, that being Rhythm there on that K-Machine down.
Yeah. Definitely seeing a lot of paint out of Limit Break here, and just a lot of sustained specials. They're keeping that window clear, which is hugely important to clearing this checkpoint.
Do they really need to clear it right now, though? The C-Jet does tap that tower and then jumps out. We can see them very quickly building towards that Ray, trying to have that ready for some sort of mid-engagement that Hedgehog might put up here. Butcher once again getting on top of the spinner, which was instrumental to their first push earlier when they were unable to clear that first checkpoint. That Booyah Bomb, very pivotal in terms of keeping that Ray off of their toes.
Yeah, but again, they're blowing their specials just to get back into the mid. They're going to have to hold that first checkpoint for a while. I don't know if they'll be able to clear it with the resources they currently have.
Yeah, they don't have missiles in order to try and stop that Ray from going off in overtime. They do have that Booyah Bomb, and the 52 is getting very, very close to that. That Ray coming out from Limit Break, perhaps not just a moment too early, because overtime hasn't even started yet, but they do get the pick on the 52 in the process, which is huge, because now they're not going to have anything to deal with that Ray in overtime. Sleepy going down on the tower, and Hedgehog not having the foot on it. Game 1, going to Limit Break.
They took control of mid and they did not let go. That was one of the longest pushes I have ever seen in tower control. I think that lasted 2 or 3 minutes. Just hovering around the second checkpoint, which is if you can keep your opponents far enough back, you can hover around there as long as you want. And they were doing the job.
Yeah, that they consistently use their special spam just to keep a foot on the tower. Not necessarily to push it and gain more points, but just to keep it out of mid. By keeping Hedgehog on defense there, they were never able to gain a footing to be able to be on the tower, to be able to push forward. And that, I think, is why their offense, which, you know, the best defense is a strong offense, was what was so solid there. As we look forward, the Rainmaker Blackbelly, I do expect to see both of those C-Jets come out again in the hands of Riku and Barry, given this is the C-Jet map mode.
Yeah, this is a very strong C-Jet map. Makes me feel a little bit degenerate when I play C-Jet here. But it's better than every other weapon I play, so I kind of have to.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else to come out from Barry. Given that we did see the C-Jet on Sturgeon, I would be curious if Riku pulls out anything. We did see Dragon on the K-Shot there, which is also just another really good Rainmaker pick, really good Blackbelly pick. In terms of Rhythm, who was on that K-Machine and who was really taking an initiator role for Hedgehog, I would expect to see that out as well, just because of how useful that Fizzy can be in terms of clearing on that right side through street in order to be able to really get some ground in order to push in. There's nothing like a good splashdown for a repop.
Absolutely. Could see the machine come back. I would also love to see Try or maybe Try Nouveau. I know that Rhythm is a bucket player, and it's always nice to have an extra bomb when you need it. And I'm a big proponent of rain on this map. But it looks like we see the vanilla slosher, which is not something anyone expected.
No, an LDE V-Slosh there, probably for the missiles in order to be able to do something about Limit Break's missiles. But Limit Break notably not bringing... Oh, yes, they are. My bad. We do see that Hedgehog does get that pop there, is pushing into mid. The V-Brush going down there on the side of Limit Break, and Rhythm doing a great job of just creating space on their opponent's grass there. Looks like they're going around for this left push.
That could be risky. Dorgan's there, ready to defend the Rainmaker and pop it. The Limit Break could be mounting a strong left push off of this. They got two members of Hedgehog down, and we'll just have to see how fast Barry's Ray comes online.
Ooh, and that is almost immediate, that Ray coming out, getting the pick on the Rainmaker and that Junior. We do know that brush is on that left side maze, and am I mistaken, or was Barry running Thermal Ink?
Oh, I know that Ray gives you the effects of Thermal Ink while you're not shooting it. I did not get a good look at Barry's gear, but that would definitely be... That'd be an interesting pick for VJet. Or CJet, sorry.
It would. Ooh, and we did almost get a look at that. Yeah, so we do see... I can't quite tell, but that's okay. So,
no Thermal Ink. No Thermal Ink.
No Thermal Ink. Okay, Hedgehog having two specials online, once again being the Ray and the missiles there. I'm just trying to create a wait for Limit Break to push into them in order to be able to do something about this. As the Rainmaker does reset, Limit Break burning through that Inkjet, Hedgehog does get that pop.
I'm excited to see what Hedgehog can do with this. I think it's a good choice not to go left again. They got burned pretty bad there, but it looks like they're getting burned anyway. Limit Break just comes out and cleans them up instantly. We got an L3 coming around for a huge flank. It's keeping the Jet busy and the Bucket, so that'll be a good chance for Limit Break to kind of reset here and move the Rainmaker back towards the middle maybe.
Yeah, but Hedgehog having three members online as Rhythm is going for that Rainmaker, so they are going to choose to bleed this push out. They might be able to bleed here. No, 4 points, just didn't have enough paint under their feet. There we go. Limit Break is well situated, though, in order to be able to shut down any future pushes here. As I say that, they do go
lose two members.
Yeah.
It looks like Hedgehog has a chance to break in here.
And they do.
And they do.
1 point. I mean, 2 points. That's extremely close. Hedgehog only having two members left standing. Limit Break trying to break out of their own street here. And they can do that, realistically, especially with that Stingray and that Inkjet online.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we do see the Inkjet come out along with the armor, which will be good to clear Hedgehog out of their area and let Limit Break move up and take control of mid again. But it seems like this Junior does not care about mid. They are going straight for Jigsaw, getting some picks, getting some paint down, and this could be a fast push, except for Barry's Ray yet again.
Very, very clutch with that Ray. They do have all four members left standing. They almost have that armor online from the Junior. So being able to get the Rainmaker out of their maze here and push up, they have time. Rainmaker, you don't need to worry about the time, the clock running out. Once you have that Rainmaker, there is a moment for you to breathe and chill. So now that that's reset, they can go for the pop. And I would add that Hedgehog has been winning all of these pop contestants.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both comps here have kind of similar popping power, but it looks like Hedgehog is just committing to it harder. That said, we have a chance for a big push coming out from Limit Break here. They got one of their Inkjets online, but it looks like it wasn't quite enough to get up that ramp. We'll see what they can do from here.
Yeah, and Yuri going down to that Rainmaker pop there. As Hedgehog breaks out of their own spawn, it does look like the Rainmaker is okay, they have Rhythm there with them. So Hedgehog split out very interestingly in the final moments of the game, split 2-2. Rhythm going up and dying up on that snipe area in order to be able to maintain lead here.
Yeah, that's a strong position for Hedgehog to have the Rainmaker, and Limit Break is going to have to do a lot of work to get it down from there. But it looks like they just might do it.
that they do get the Rainmaker. It does look like Dragon doesn't quite know where they want to drop. They opt to drop for that left side. They don't need to push it that much further. Oh, but here comes Butcher gunning for that Rainmaker. That's
go down
a huge
in
pick
the
on the
bucket.
My goodness, what is going on?
And they survive this array. It looks like... Oh, there it is. I don't know what happened.
It does look like the Rainmaker did go down to Barry's Ray there. So once again,
Gotcha.
a very clutch Ray from Barry.
Yeah, absolutely. Barry's rays were huge in that game. Stopped a lot of pushes that could have gone further. Neither team ever really got what I would consider a safe lead on this map, but they kept slugging it out, and Barry's ray kept coming out on top.
And in that moment where Hedgehog was able to pull lead, I think my eyes were tricking me. I thought they hadn't pulled lead yet, but they had a squeaking that by 2 points. Typical Rainmaker black belly moment. Am I right?
Absolutely.
It could be worse. You could leave the fish unattended and they come up from right behind you.
Yeah. That is always a bad feeling, but both teams were able to avoid it this time around.
Oh, speaking of funny map modes, is it or is it not your favorite map mode, Clam Blitz Piranha Pit?
I gotta say, it's not my favorite map mode.
I said that on purpose.
We have been getting better at it recently, but this is a little bit of a boogie map for Acropora. I do like that I get to play heavy deco on it. But
you think we'll see a heavy deco?
I feel like I somehow doubt it. It's not a very commonly picked weapon.
Yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, it's your
no,
call.
definitely. Unfortunately, I want to see it more often.
We'll see how Limit Break and Hedgehog choose to approach Clem Blitz Piranha Pit, given that it's just one. Oh my gosh, an Explode?
That's close to as good as Heavy Deco for me. That's exciting.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of those played in forever competitively. Going for that main saver Expo from Dragon there, and already doing some damage, getting an assist on a rhythm there.
Yep. Looks like they're looking to take control of these fans in the beginning of the game, which is always a strong position to be in, especially for an anchor weapon. And by putting all the resources on the right, it looks like they're able to start an early push here, and they're going to get some solid points out of this. They've got Hedgehog pretty much smoked out, and they're going to have to try and drop back in, or maybe come in around the side and see what they can do to save themselves, because this push is already monumental from Limit Break.
But it doesn't look like the members of Limit Breaker in any position in order to be able to continue this push. Dragon jumping out there, but as you said, getting it down to 29 remaining in the opening minute of the game is extreme. Barry and Rhythm setting up there for a defense on opposite sides of the basket in order to be able to pin anyone that comes in there. But Limit Break in control of mid once again, and if you're in control of mid, you're in control of the clams, because that's where all of the clams spawn on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking some more big fights here, and they get another 2 down against Hedgehog. This could be the start of something big, or it could be just another example of Limit Break taking control of mid, playing the slow game, and waiting for another chance to have an incredible push.
Dragon popping that baller in order to be able to get underneath that basket here, but the splash does go down. It looks like this could be a really solid defense from Hedgehog there, and it is. The remaining members of Limit Break both marked with those power clams, so by getting a little bit greedy for that push, they have essentially handed over control of mid, and thus they broke the basket. I take it all.
Oh.
They somehow got in there. The basket is open. Limit Break is breaking the limit.
Absolutely, they'll have a chance to fight back for some of mid now and see if they can stop another counter push from Hedgehog. But Hedgehog has 3 specials online and 27 clams. They're gonna have to do a lot to stop this.
But here they come with that Booyah Bomb and the 2 power clams. Butcher well positioned to shut down that top left side. And Sharking to get anyone that dares to drop, which would be extremely risky on the side of Limit Break. The Junior going down, followed shortly after by Rhythm, is just Butcher and Barry. Barry, the final remaining member left to jump out.
Yeah, that's definitely a good defense by Limit Break, and it looks like Hedgehog didn't have time to paint much of mid when they got that push in, so Limit Break could be right back to advantage here. They didn't let they let in a solid push from Hedgehog, but it doesn't hold a candle to 24.
They do lose their Zap player in the process of this exchange, though. So it is a 3v3 situation, but as you mentioned, Limit Break is in control of mid here. They do have a power climb ready to push. It looks like they're just juggling that around. Between the Baller and the Bubbles, they do have plenty of entry options, but 2 members down, so probably wise to just take a moment to breathe a little. There's a minute and a half left in the game, and as long as they don't lose control of mid here by overextending, they should be sitting pretty on their defense.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm Explosher here, I want to sit back a little bit, hold my Baller, and wait until I need it to stop somebody. But it looks like Dorgan is taking more of an aggressive position, maybe trying to stop people coming in at all. And we get a huge pick from the Junior over on the left of your screen there, using their bubbles to take out Rhythm. That could have easily turned into a jump and another great push from Hedgehog, but it turns into a jump and maybe another great push from Limit Break instead. We got that's knockout, I guess.
Yeah,
spend too much time looking at what's happening and I can't see the score.
That was the second time that Limit Break jumped in order to have a successful push. There was that opening push where they got it down to 29 remaining, and then that like strange little they're pushing but they're not pushing overextension moment that was ultimately what enabled Hedgehog's push, because once they had that pity climb, because they didn't have control of mid, as you mentioned on the retake there, so it was that pity clam from that failed push, the second failed push from Limit Break, that enabled that push to happen from Hedgehog altogether, which was very, very dangerous. But that final push from Limit Break, just another instance of we're jumping in, we're dunking, and it's just over in the blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked the weird small push from Limit Break there. I know it's unorthodox. I'm a proponent of that. I think you're playing against people who know how to play Splatoon. They're gonna make a power clam. I think it's good to slow down the tempo sometimes and not let them score immediately. But either way, they're now moving on to Inkblot Art Academy.
Yeah, that moment where they dunked, and that was what stopped Hedgehog's push altogether, because the members of Hedgehog had to like turn around and be like, "Nani," like, what is going on in our basket? That, you know, sometimes offense is a distraction.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, but we are heading into Inkblot Art Academy Splat Zones. We could finally see the E-Leader from Barry.
Ooh, mayhaps. We shall see. We also might see a Firefin, honestly. Oh, no, you are correct!
2 E-Leaders.
Wait!
All right.
Oh my gosh, the E-Leader duel from Teru Coco and Barry there. Very, very exciting.
2 E-Leaders, but also a missile on each team, and I believe 2 or more bombs on each team, so we'll see if the E-Leaders are able to keep their footing. Barry's doing a good job here of staying alive on plat for this opening take. We'll see if they're able to take a more aggressive position here, though.
You might think that missiles are the easy solution to an E-Leader, but I have seen Barry duck and weave around missiles. They can dance with that heavy weapon there. Speaking of missiles, it is Butcher and another member of Hedgehog that are currently missiled, as Limit Break does cap that zone. I would add that we are in match point, so whoever does win this here, if that is Limit Break, then they are moving on to Grand Finals. Hedgehog has a little bit of fire under their feet.
Definitely a good opportunity for Limit Break here, but Hedgehog has everything to prove, as they're forcing some jumps out, and they're going to look to take zone again. I do want to mention what you said about... Oh, never mind. We'll put that in our pockets for later. Limit Break gets a huge pick onto Barry there. That's going to allow them to drop, or it's going to allow them to start dropping and putting more pressure on the other members of Hedgehog. But it doesn't look like it's going to result in a zone cap yet.
I appreciate how patient Limit Break is being on top of that plat. They know that the moment they drop, they are putting themselves in danger. So they are waiting for an opportunity to be able to know that they are safe when they do push it. But speaking of safe, we've got Sleepy sharking behind this left block. Sleepy is awake as they duck back and weave, trying to figure out how to deal with that K machine. Does get
And
the
they
pick
get
there.
it.
Oh, excellent.
You love to see it. Always exciting to see a little bit of Battle Junior. But here comes some Battle Bucket popping missiles, and unfortunately that stuck him in one place for too long, and the E-Leader saw him and said, "You're mine."
It does look like Hedgehog is going to be able to pull lead here. Those 9 seconds can be everything. Butcher on their way to another Booyah. The surviving member of Limit Break just striking behind that wall does get splashdown canceled, so that is lead in favor of Hedgehog, and now very well situated in a 4v3 situation with growing special economy.
Yeah, and you can see that Hedgehog is instantly putting as much pressure on the plat as they can to force the E-Leader from Limit Break to run away. They're going to do everything in their power to keep that laser behind that wall.
And look at where Barry is underneath that left slip, getting every single angle that they can on that plat as possible. Hedgehog very close to a KO here, but Limit Break does brute force into that zone, gets the cap, and then very quickly goes 4 down. Hedgehog they have to clear that penalty. More importantly, they know that they can defend against Limit Break's aggression there. They have to be feeling a little comfortable right now.
Yeah, definitely. We haven't been seeing Barry take the E-Leader positions that you might expect, but they are taking what are usually pretty safe E-Leader positions, except when you let a machine sneak in behind you. Luckily, Sleepy's able to clean that up and get another pick, but that could have been a huge flank out of Limit Break.
Yeah, getting
but
a pick.
Hedgehog will hold on here and just return to pressuring the plat.
Getting a pick on the backline and the main paint support there on the side of Hedgehog would have been very, very, very huge for Limit Break. But speaking of very huge for Limit Break, Hedgehog is 2 down, and Limit Break does have their specials ready to go. They are going to be able to break in here and get the cap. How well they can situate themselves out for a lockout here is the question, because they don't have a lot of penalty, but they do have a lot of points to catch back up on. And look at where Hedgehog is. They are all the way backed up in that corner on their own plat.
We saw a lot of pressure from that machine there, but unfortunately they did go down to the missiles, so now it's going to be up to the rest of the team, including this E-Leader, to just keep Hedgehog back on plat for another 20 seconds. See if they can hold zone and get the win. But a big flank from Butcher comes out. Losing that E-Leader means they lose a lot of pressure, and this could be game.
Yeah, especially with that Booyah about to be online from Butcher there. Barry just in the middle of a missile storm.
Man.
Here comes the Booyah. Is it going to get any picks? No, that's 2 down on the of Hedgehog, but Limit Break does have a penalty on their backs now. Just the junior left standing as we head into overtime.
This is the last chance for everybody. This could be huge for Limit Break, but if Sleepy on the far side is able to find a way in, they could destabilize what Hedgehog has going on here, which happens when the E-Leader goes down. They're contesting zone. We'll see if they can get it. Ooh, Splashdown might save it there.
Yeah, Limit Break trying to get that E-Leader off of top mid does do so. Limit Break going to be able to turn this around, clearing their penalty, securing the lead in overtime. Going to Limit Break.
That was something else. They timed everything perfectly, and they fought for their lives in zone there. The 10 missile on the E-Leader in top mid in the end was a huge turning point. You saw Barry not taking super typical E-Leader positions, maybe for that reason, but in the end, they tried to stay on top mid and they got burned for it.
what I found interesting about Barry's positioning that whole time was how it was used by the 52 Butcher. Barry's positioning was so aggressive that everyone had to be looking at him. And multiple times the other members of Hedgehog were able to capitalize that being Rhythm and Butcher mainly, while Sleepy kept up the paint. Regardless, I genuinely thought Hedgehog was going to take that match and that we would be moving on to a game 5, but Limit Break, just like you said earlier, with those final missiles on, unfortunately, Barry in top mid, not only getting the pick there, but getting enough paint down from that top view in order to be able to neutralize the zone and keep it yellow. So GG's to Limit Break and GG's to Hedgehog as well. We will be moving on to Grand Finals of SOS 75 next after a short break for me and Moth. We'll be right back, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to SOS 75. My name is Skepidillions, and I am once again here with Mothman as we have a very, very interesting set between limit break and gas prices. And I'm sure we could all use a break from these gas prices. I am reaching my limit. But before we come back on, Moth and I do have a couple of special announcements to make here. Starting with Super Jump. I'm sure you all are very, very, very aware that Super Jump is coming up right around the corner. If you're not registered, what are you doing? Super Jump 2 is an upcoming Splatoon 2 major for players of all skill levels, featuring a large prize pool, 2 waves in 2 days of competitions, and a very quality live stream. I don't know if I can say this yet, but I'm going to. I will be commentating, so you can catch us there. It also features a 2-day format with multiple 2-day brackets, so everyone can find matches close to their skill level, and it's all going down on July 23rd and 24th. If you are ready to jump in, you can check out start.gg/SJ2 to learn more and register.
All right, and up next we have got a tournament that is very exciting for us, Skep.
Yes!
You can come and see Rapport play at Shine in Worcester, Massachusetts. Splatoon is returning to the East Coast on August 26th through the 28th. You can come out and enjoy one of Splatoon 2's last in-person events and get a shot at winning both cash and art prizes. Competitor passes are going to be more expensive starting on the 17th, so if you're on the fence, now is the time.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, did you know, Moth, that Shine is in 43 days?
That's incredible.
You do now. And not to mention we have SAT, which is returning this weekend for its second tournament in this round of circuits. You can join us this Saturday, July 16th at 2 p.m. EST, and you'll be able to earn more points for your team. The top 8 teams with the most points by the end of the 4th tournament will be invited to play in the finals and be crowned the best mid-level team in Splatoon 2. Without further ado,
that's gonna be exciting to watch. But this is going to be more exciting. We've got grand finals, limit break versus gas prices. Who can reach the highest?
I don't know. Probably my patience. Just something that we did see limit break up against Hedgehog last round. Of course, who could forget it? But gas prices we haven't seen yet tonight. We had a little bit of a discussion before we came on all together this evening about Fanafiz and Forge. We recognize those faces. If you occasionally get run down playing League and Rainmaker and KO'd in under 30 seconds, chances are it's probably these gamers who have been sweating out the Rainmaker League rotations for the past several months.
Yeah, and they'll get a chance to prove their mettle right here in Game 1 on Rainmaker Snapper Canal. We're seeing a C-Jet. That's a solid pick. No anchor from gas prices.
Do you see what I see? A 52 Deco from Teru Coco. Oh man, a squid after my own heart with that weapon pick there.
That's definitely an interesting pick. We will see no shortage of rays from Limit Break here. And we will see a dire shortage of rays from gas prices. I'm wondering what is going to be their plan to stop a Rainmaker push, but they might not need to stop one if they can take down half of a Limit Break right here. They just need somebody to pick it up and they can move forward and start getting some good points.
Feels like every single Rainmaker rotation I've played for the past month. Luke all the way up in that spawn already. Gas pricing is showing that Rainmaker is their turf because while their engines may not be running, their cars certainly are. I'm sorry, that made a lot more sense in my head. Boy's trying to go up on the window, does get picked by that beautiful 52 Deco.
That's a solid stop from Limit Break, but also a solid push from gas prices. They will be hard pressed to get past that. Hopefully they'll be trying to put out some pressure with some specials here soon because it looks like the Rainmaker might not be doing quite enough.
Yeah, Limit Break choosing to play it slow as they try and approach that window here. Forge coming in with that bowler, though, quite simply running it down. On two members, does get the pick on the Rainmaker, but the 52 Deco left standing alone with both of those support players up and pushing them aggressively. Ooh,
And an
sweet pick,
excellent
though.
pick from the 52 Decker here to maintain presence on the left. You saw Limit Break go 3 down. You might have thought that they were gonna lose the push here and the 52 was gonna back up. No, sir. They get a great pick and keep the battle lines over there on the left.
That they do, maintaining control of that hill. If Limit Break chooses to continue this push and lead this out, they absolutely can. The first of those rays coming out, and call it Inkling Instinct, but I bet they're going to pop that one very shortly after. Two members of gas prices going down, one coming out of spawn. So Limit Break, they are looking rather comfortable here, and here comes that second ray.
This is going to be Limit Break's first chance of the game. They're trying to push it straight through street, but with nothing ahead of the Rainmaker, they're going to have to slow down here. Unfortunately, they do get picked by gas prices, and Luke is going to drop down into street and get a double to secure a huge defense from gas prices there.
Yeah, Limit Break, it does look like they are on their back foot for the first time in a couple of minutes. Gas prices probably preparing to run it down again because this is their mode. They do play a absolute crud ton of Rainmaker. So Limit Break is going to have to find a way to break up their pace in order to be able to get back in there.
That's a sneaky flank from the 52 on Limit Break, but they go down to Luke. Luke goes down as well to the Ray, but they could have gotten a lot more value out of that flank, and they will be... they could be on the back foot here if they had plans based on that.
Forge pushing up with that baller, ready with a quick escape option. Does get the pick on the junior. So gas prices, it looks like they're situated for a push. They have the paint down, they have the players in position, but no one in control of the fish. I take it back. They have someone in control of the fish as that ray does come out. A poor little frowny face is frowning as they go down to that ray.
Yeah. It looks like Limit Break was just waiting to hold that ray, and as soon as gas prices picked it up, it came out. We're now seeing another one out to defend the popped Rainmaker. Does not get the pick on the Booyah user there, but they are going to get some paint down on the right here and start clearing it out.
I was a little suspect of the double ray comp when I first saw it, but now I see exactly what they are going for here. They have a defense ready to go no matter what side of the map gas prices does choose to push. And that's something that can be very difficult on Snapper Canal in specific, in that you have to have your defense ready to go, and given that it's basically triggerfish zones, being able to put up a defense no matter where your opponents are and where you are is a strength of Limit Break's conk, but when you're focused on defense so hard, you can have a difficult time breaking in, especially when you have such forward-facing opponents such as gas prices.
Yeah, for sure. We're in a pretty neutral situation here in the last 15 seconds of the game. Gas prices might look to shark around the Rainmaker just to pick it up in the nick of time if they need to, but I think Limit Break has to pick it up to force overtime, and they're going to have a hard time doing that with so many members of gas prices right there. And they show why they are the Rainmaker League champions.
Indeed, they sure do. Gas prices running it down in Rainmaker. If you haven't faced gas prices, at least Forge and Fantafiz, I believe the other two members are part of that run it down quad. If you have not faced them in League, you are simply not playing enough League. Because, I mean, every single Rainmaker rotation, frame one, they are running it down. But the question is, can they do the same thing on Clamblitz Humpback? Because these are two very different animals.
Yeah, for sure. Snapper Canal is a very flat and angular map, which I like a lot as a Splatling player. And also as a Splatling player, I hate Humpback Pump Track. It's got a lot of weird terrain, and we'll see who can take the best advantage of that. We haven't seen a Splatling from either of these teams, I don't believe, so they won't be having to deal with that. But they will be having to deal with people hiding around every nook and cranny.
Well, they also have to deal with Dragon. Because if you remember from the last game on Clam Blitz Piranha Pit, I believe Dragon was playing either the K Machine or the V Slosh there. So having that bucket is a significant advantage on the side of Limit Break here.
I believe it was the Explosher.
Oh, you know what?
I remember
It was.
seeing them dancing around on the ramps, and we'll see if they can use the terrain to their advantage in a similar way here. This is definitely a solid Explosher map. I would love to play Explosher on this map if only I was any good at Explosher.
Well, Dragon's good with Explosher, so perhaps we will get to see that come out. And given how claustrophobic Clam Blitz Humpback is in particular, it's not like Rainmaker Humpback. It's not like, it's a little bit like Zone's Humpback, but that the area that you need to control in order to be able to push is so small. Realistically, it's just that mid area. The first team to go 2 down is typically the team that's going to end up having to play defense. As this map mode can just be so punishing in terms of, do you go down at the wrong time? Because your opponents, if they are wizened enough, will be in your face immediately.
Yeah, definitely a small enough distance between the two baskets for a high-scoring game here and a fast-paced one as well. We might see another knockout from Limit Break, or we might see gas prices further their lead here.
And we do see gas prices on that double 52 comp upping for that V52 and K52. Very interesting picks there. And Limit Break doing what they did for the last Clams game, going for that K Junior and Explo.
Right, and we're immediately seeing a very aggressive position being taken by Dorgan here. They have a lot of faith in Explosher on this map, and it is well deserved. They're hidden behind that wall without any problems.
Junior dropping into a very dangerous position, knowing that Expo is right there. Limit Break having complete control of the areas that they do need to in order to push.
Dorgan's already up near the basket. If we see a clam formed by Limit Break, we could have seen it jump soon, but unfortunately Dorgan goes down. That's a good, important pick from Forge, but they're having to contend with a Junior now that's popping 100 bubbles in their face. They get to pick again.
Gas prices, looks like they are preparing for a push here. Luke having a power clam. That Booyah Bomb running out of steam just a moment too soon, but 2 members down on the side of Limit Break. That Expo going to be instrumental in their defense here. Luke managing to get that dunk with just the K Junior left standing, and we are very quickly below 60 remaining. Make that almost 50.
This is a solid push from gas prices for sure, but we have seen Limit Break do incredible things on Clam Blitz, so we'll see if they have an answer for this. It looks like right now they have gas prices locked out of the basket, but they'll have to look to take back mid if they're going to get a huge sustained push like they did in the last match. And it looks like they're having to shift their focus back under the basket as Forge takes a baller back over there. That might not turn into a push, but it will turn into a good chance for gas prices to continue contesting mid and keep that to themselves. And Forge makes a daring escape there to really keep gas prices on the front foot here.
That they do. They're burning through specials on the side of Limit Break just to keep gas prices out of their hair. Gas prices didn't even have control of objective. They didn't have the clams in order to be able to push when Limit Break was essentially forced to use those specials, otherwise risk going down, and then gas prices would have the clams. That Booyah Bomb coming out on defense again from Limit Break, while gas prices still has excellent special economy. As I say that, they do lose the V52, but still sitting rather comfortably in a 2v2 situation, they can maintain control of mid here.
Definitely. We're seeing some good picks out of Fanafizz here. They are now juggling to bring the ball closer to the basket before they score it, and they do get the dunk in. This is not looking great for Limit Break. We saw them dominate Clams in the last set, but they need to pull something out fast. They've got less than 2 minutes left to turn this game around, and the same thing is happening again. Forge is behind there with the baller, forcing them to pay attention to the basket and not retake mid. Hopefully Dorgan's going to be able to turn around here and get some paint out, but we'll see what Gas Prices has to say about that.
I think the significant difference here between what's going on with Gas Prices and Hedgehog last round is that Gas Prices only knows W key. They are consistently just holding forward on the members of Limit Break, so much so that they have to constantly be shifting their attention here. 2 power clams dunked from Limit Break, as I do say that. Dragon that baller, but it doesn't look like there are clams to follow it up. Riku behind the basket, but too busy taking a 1v1 with Luke in order to be able to stall that basket open. And here we go, another dunk from Gas Prices as soon as that basket opens, and the KO there from those gamers. I was briefly mentioning the difference between Gas Prices and Hedgehog here is that Hedgehog had to play that slower, wait for it, play for special play style. Versus Gas Prices just simply ran it down, and was constantly creating so much stimulus that Limit Break none of them know where to look at any given time. It's just we're behind you, turn around.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was playing a huge role there. They didn't have super long sustained pushes. We didn't see super long sustained pushes out of Gas Prices, but we saw them make a push, get a solid amount of clams in, and get in behind. And that forced Limit Break not to be able to play their game, which ultimately ended in the win for Gas Prices. They're now up 2-0 in Grand Finals, well on their way to a win.
Yeah, and this has got to be interesting for the members of Limit Break. It is in the wee hours of the morning. It is the breaking of the dawn in Japan right now. As we are speaking, the sun is coming up. So are they going to be tired, or are they going to wake up with that sunrise? It's been a long night.
Yeah, definitely been a long night. I'm getting a little bit tired myself, but I promise I'll stick it out. I wonder if we'll see a similar situation to... oh man, what was the name of the team?
Hedgehog?
No, I'm talking about Low Ink several months ago, where an Australian team...
Lois. That was Lois.
Yes. I'm wondering if we'll see a similar situation to Lois, where the sun coming up energizes Limit Break, but they need that sun to come up soon.
They do. It's a little sweaty going down 2-0 in Grand Finals, but we have seen crazier things in SOS, and it's worth noting that at least Teru Kokomi on the side of Limit Break and Doragon have both won SOSs, so they've been in these similar conditions before in order to be able to just play the slow game, wake up, take their time, and a very interesting shooter-based comp there coming out from Limit Break.
Yeah, they showed in the last set that they're able to clutch out splat zones when it counts, and we'll see here if they can do it again. Gas Prices is they're gonna come right back and cap after an opening cap from Limit Break, but it just seems to be going back and forth. Nobody can really get a solid hold on the zone yet. Limit Break does lose a player, so we'll see if Gas Prices can move up and take advantage of that while they have the clock ticking down.
Those bubbles coming out from the squeeze are going to force Gas Prices back for just a moment. 2 members down on the side of Gas Prices as Limit Break is in control of the zone. Does look like they're going to be able to put up some sort of defense here with those specials that they do have online. But Gas Prices, they look like they're going to be hitting backfire with fire, throwing that Booyah Bomb into the zone, trying to create some space, just back and forth tit for tat here between the two teams.
Yeah, like you said, Gas Prices looks to be a bunch of W key experts, and I thought that maybe they would rush in and go down to the Booyah from Limit Break there after they put their own Booyah on the zone, but they showed a little bit of restraint, took their thumbs off the stick, and slowed down just enough to instead paint over the Booyah Bomb and respond with taking the zone back for themselves, and now they'll try to deal with the bubbles here in the same way.
I'd be very curious to hear what their comms sound like. Because if they are speaking as fast as they are playing, I would just honestly, it sounds like teams communicate differently. Granted, this is a pickup, but I would be very curious to hear what their comms do sound like. Luke chucking that Booyah Bomb on that left side does get the pick on the other 52. It did look like Limit Break was pacing their game around that 52 Booyah, so curious to see how they choose to break back in here without it.
Absolutely. It is looking a little bit rough for Limit Break here. Gas prices are moving forward, moving up, and keeping Limit Break on the back foot, and that has been really effective for both games so far. And they are ticking down the clock. We are getting close to a knockout here.
Yeah, but while the members of Limit Break are targeting this 1v1, they are not looking at the zone. So the members of Gas Price is able to put up a defense here. And then when they do turn around to address the zone, it's over. It's GG's. Those missiles come out, but there's nothing to be done about it. Interesting prioritization of moments there from Limit Break. They absolutely had the positioning, the wherewithal, the specials in order to be able to take zone here, but instead choosing to take that 2v1 on that left pillow is, in my opinion, what cost them there. That was the game-changing moment. You're 8 ticks away from the KO there, gamers. Where are you looking?
Yeah. It looks like Limit Break's got to suck it up, pay the money, buy some gas, and put it in their car, because they are not able to break into mid at all in any of these games. We've seen 3 games in a row. Limit Break is just on the back foot, and we saw in the last set that what they want to do is take control of mid, paint everything their color, and then just hold a hard line. Gas prices they're not putting so much energy into painting the map and holding the line, because they are moving quick enough and moving around off enough angles that they are getting behind Limit Break consistently. And then Limit Break, with their whole game plan being to paint everything and hold a line, they have to deal with somebody behind them. So they're either going to have to find a faster, better way to deal with those people behind them, or have a real shift in mentality if they want to get the reverse sweep here.
Yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head there. They are so focused on keeping that clean line in front of them of where are the enemy, where are we, that Limit Break's Gas Price's style of just getting behind them, diverting their attention, is just so thwarting to Limit Break. Because then they do have to turn, they do have to look, they do have to redefine what they consider that they are in control of. So while that can be so difficult for most teams to face of setting that line, of creating that boundary, Gas Prices is thriving off of that. We have seen much crazier in SOS, and I know Limit Break, this is not their limit. They have won SOSs before, but you have to wonder of what this does to anyone's psyche. You made it all the way to grand finals. You had a rough set here. You know, that set between Hedgehog was contentious, but here they are, just not having enough money to put some gas in the tank.
Yeah, and I think their most convincing performance in the set we saw earlier was on Sturgeon Tower Control. That really sold it for me. Just seeing the map be painted so solidly one color. We'll see if they can replicate that on TC Reef. But if they do, they're gonna have to face gas prices on Rainmaker again. So if I'm Limit Break, what I want to see is a 100-0 knockout as straight out the gate. I want as much energy as possible going into my team so that I can put up a strong push in Rainmaker as well.
TC Reef. Trying to consider how this could fare compared to the different games that we've seen so far. We did see Riku in the sets up against Hedgehog playing backlines. That was mostly the Siege, but we also did see them on that E-Leader on that Inkblock game. If there's a moment to pull that out, I would think TC Reef could potentially be that. If you're talking about setting a line, if you're talking about not being run down or giving your teammates space to work with, a solid E-Leader could make or break that case there. While it wouldn't be the answer most would expect to, like, how do you handle people who are running you down, it is an option. That being said, it does look like Limit Break is opting to go for that vanilla Tri-Slosher and that Explo for that double armor comp. Also interesting to note that they are running 3 sets of LDE versus Gas Prices is not running any. That tells me that Gas Prices wants this over with quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I really like the double bucket pick from Limit Break. When you started talking about seeing maybe an E-Leader or a C-Jet, I'm wondering which one could be better, because E-Leader's good at locking down mid, but C-Jet maybe has an advantage shooting up onto those ledges as you push further up. But Explo can do both. So we'll see if they're able to use that to that effect here. And the flanking try is going to get them a good start on defending this first checkpoint.
While Limit Break is 1 member down, we do see that B-52 did pop that baller in order to be able to maintain that pressure near that tower. Typically, this first checkpoint does come free, so that is something that Gas Prices can look forward to. They are getting a little bit of that free gas as they head towards that second checkpoint. But this is when things are going to get contentious, because that Expo up at car can do a lot of damage here, and here we do see Teru Koko coming around for that flank. But it does look like Limit Break is continuously 1 member down, and that poor Tri-Slosher is now left alone and no doubt called out.
Yeah, they have plenty of LDE on the team, and now 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game, it is all fully activated. We are seeing a huge push from Gas Prices here, and they could get their wish of a very fast game as Luke moves up into main and starts just mowing down Limit Break.
And we are barreling our way towards a KO. All 3 of those checkpoints haven't fallen. Is this match point? It is match point, just like that. That is the quickest Grand Finals tower control match I have ever seen for SOS. Gas Prices putting the pedal to the metal there. No breaks, no limits. Going for a clean 4-0 in SOS 75.
Absolutely. This is my first time commentating, and it seems I have already hit an excellent example of commentator's curse. I said Limit Break wanted a fast win here, and Gas Prices won in 2 minutes.
Gas Prices, once they got that tower going, they simply did not stop. There was that brief reprieve while the Slosher Teru Koko was flanking, but that was about it. That was the only moment that they took a moment to chill. From that second checkpoint onward, they were in Limit Break spawn, not giving them any moment to take a break. With that being said, GG's to Gas Prices for showing us that there is hope for our wallets. And then also GG's thank you to Limit Break for, having very... SOS is just a wonderful tournament to practice in for anyone, so having players come in from all over the world to compete in this event and to test their skills against each other is something that I personally always look forward to seeing. Ma?
Absolutely.
This was your first time commentating. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Let's see. Here's what I want to say. Play heavy deco. You don't have much time left. You don't have much time left. When Splatoon 3 comes out in September, you can't play heavy deco anymore. Try it now. You'll love it. It's great.
There's no shot. Oh man. Well, Moth, I will say thank you for coming on and joining me on mic. I do want to gas you for a moment. Gas prices. and say that you did such a fantastic and lovely job. I never would have known it was your first time commentating if I didn't drag you out here myself. So if our lovelies in chat could please throw some moth, toss a coin to your witcher, you know. Moth, where can the good people find you?
They can find me at Mothman_SP on Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I have to promote. I don't really do much else. I'm the captain of the team. I don't have time to be on YouTube or anything. Where can they find you, Skep?
Hi, my name is Skepidillions. I'm a Div 6 blob name for Aquapora. And you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Skepidillions as seen on screen. And you can find both of us at Shine in 43 days. So please go to Shine.
Sign up now.
We'll see you all next week with another wonderful SOS. Thank you all for coming out and stay fresh, everyone.